Hi everyone, hi and welcome back to another episode of BattleRapresume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thanks so much for joining me. Please follow us on Twitter at BattleRapresume. Please email us battlerapresume@gmail.com. Anything you've got about the show, any people you want to see on, any queries, any questions, any kind of, congratulations, anything like that. Any donations, whatever. Go on the Redbubble shop as well. You pick up some stickers and some BattleRapresume merchandise to help the bandwidth costs. What else do we have? We have the YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos on there that are kind of just exclusive YouTube things, compilations I've done, my inner Minnesota Luke coming out at several points, so check out those videos. But my guest today is we were just talking briefly off air, and Okwerdz, we agreed that, I mean, it's not hyperbole to say you are kind of the last of a I don't want to be gauche, but a dying breed, you know what I mean? Like, you are one of the giants left.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, as far as like dating as far back as possible, yeah, like there's few people that's, few of my OGs that's still highly active, whether, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't battled in almost 5 years, but I still consider myself highly active in the community. That's what I mean when I say that. There's not too many that have been around as long as me that are still around like that. You know what I mean? Like, I said, Poison Pen would be like, one of my OGs that's still around. You know what I mean? Someone that I was looking at before I really got, any name in the battle scene.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about your community. I'm just coming at this as a UK guy, whatever. I know America to a certain extent. I know California to a certain extent. But if you were to say to me, name some Californian cities, I'd say, LA, San Francisco, Sacramento, whatever, Oakland. I probably wouldn't say Stockton, but it has a big history, doesn't it?
Man, it does. But you probably wouldn't have said it, but I think like in recent years, I think maybe a lot more people are. Maybe you're from the UK and stuff, but a lot of people are like more in recent years. But you're right. You're absolutely right what you said, man. We've the last couple of years been having a big boom on things. I think the Diaz brothers have played a big part of that. I think Dallas Braden has played a big part of that. I think myself has played a big part of that.
Of course, man. Of course.
Jungle, of course. The jungle, fucking all day.
Yeah. And I mean, West Coast. That is you, right? I mean, those two words are Okwerdz.
Absolutely, man. It's a good one, dude. And the West Coast even really had a lot of people picture us as like this very rich in talent region for battle rap, but there was a time when I was battle rapping when we had such a small scene and nobody was doing it on the national level at all, man. It was like a crazy place when I would go to Scribble Jam or something and people would be like, "Oh, you're from California? That's crazy. I haven't heard of anybody that battle raps from California." You know what I mean? It's been a long journey. Sorry, I just popped right there. I said.
No, it's cool. And just to, my knowledge of that is fairly sparse, but I'm kind of learning more. Is it fair to say that Ilmac was kind of like the kind of real crowning period of the West Coast, that era?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was, let me think. I believe, he was the first one of us to win a Scribble, dude. I kind of was one of the first guys established that went there, you know what I mean? Because I'm one of Immaculate's OGs and stuff like that. We've traded inspiration from each other, you know what I mean? In the beginning, I was somebody that he was looking up to because I was one of the, only people on the West Coast that was doing it. And then, many years later, I can be inspired by the things that he's doing, you know what I mean? Him coming through and running through Scribble Jam from the prelims and stuff like that, that was highly impressive. That I think that was probably the West Coast best year of Scribble Jam was just based off Immaculate right there. He had one of the most impressive runs, man. But it really dates even way farther before that. You know what I mean? In the late 90s.
Really? Okay. So what was going on then?
You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just talking about my own personal journey, before 98, even before that, in Southern California, in LA, where they had all the Project Blow stuff and things like that, people like Peace and Otherwise, a lot of No Can Do's real OGs. They were the guys that were battling a lot out there, when they had the Rap Olympics and Juice and Eminem came by and stuff. The West Coast actually they beat Eminem. Eminem came down and got beat. You know what I mean? This is before I even started battling. You know what I mean? This is in the mid mid 90s, early 90s and stuff, but they weren't really, it was more of like a, I don't know, like a competitive thing. Like people would come to Project Blowed and just get eaten alive, but like there wasn't a lot of like big tournaments. Like I said, Californians weren't really in like tournaments or, you know what I mean, the organized type of scene before. There was almost like Project Blow is an open mic, you know what I mean? And people just happened to battle there all the time and cypher outside.
Were there cameras there?
Rarely, man. A lot of this stuff, you know, you barely see on footage. And if there is footage, it's not nearly as nice as you see it today, man.
No, there was no avocado back then.
Oh, God no, man. You'll be lucky. And then with the buffering and how internet connections were back then, it would just be trash if it ever appeared online. But, you know, those times, like I said, like I believe it was in, I want to say 99 was the first year that like Peace and Otherwise and all those guys did a Scribble Jam. And that's when the whole West Coast came through, and I believe Idea won that year or something like that. And that was the only time that anyone from the West Coast has ever been invited, period, to Scribble Jam. And until I went, you know, that was the only year they did go. So until I went, like no one from California, period.
And what year was that?
I think I did my first one, man. I want to say like 01 or 02, one of the two.
And can you explain, because a lot of people listening will just be kind of Don't Flop, King of the Dot YouTube viewers, like Scribble Jam.
Which is good, man. Hey, the UK has very rich history of battle rap as well, man.
We love you over here, man. Where you been, man?
Bro, like you guys know a lot about this shit, so I really wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people do know what I'm talking about.
No, I think I think that's a fair point actually, and it is. I mean, anyone listening who's a bit like, oh, what is that? Check it out, man. It's fucking awesome. But I mean, what describe it to these people? What was it?
Like, how do you mean? Like,
what made it different? The kind of format, I suppose, like in terms of compared to like 3 rounds of written stuff. It was very beat driven, wasn't it? Freestyle.
Oh, yeah, it was all over beat. I mean, put it this way, man. Like, I could win an entire battle, like if I had one cold ass like comparison to a celebrity that you looked like. If I just had one, a lot of it is like, because if you think about it, like depending how crazy the line was that you said, like if I said a line that was so crazy that made the crowd cheer for 4 bars, you're not hearing anything I'm saying for the next 4 bars. It's just freestyle gibberish. And as long as when the crowd simmers down, I'm ready to hit them with that second punchline, you could win a battle in 2 punchlines. It's way different. You know what I mean? Like the rounds were 30 seconds over a beat. So it's extremely fast. You know what I mean? And nobody was writing like that. People had like premeditated stuff, but it wasn't like the way it is now. So you could win on a lot less. You could show up, you know, really drunk and high and still do well.
Yeah, the one battle I want to specifically point people to from this era is you versus Jack Cracker. The crowd for that. What Scribble Jam was that? Because I want people to watch it because the crowd is awesome. It's like a festival crowd for a freestyle battle rap tournament. It's fantastic.
Oh, dude, it's one of the best crowds ever seen, man. One of the, for a battle event anywhere in life, dude. There was over 4,000 people there that day. And it was like, the thing about that crowd, it was the first year that I've seen like, it was almost like a smack crowd in a way, dare I say, in the sense of like, everything changes from punchline to punchline. If you had 2 fire punchlines in a row, they're going to be the most hype, crazy, active crowd. But by that third punchline, if that third punchline sucks, you're getting booed. So it was like, it was real crazy. You had to really be able to hold it together, man. And it's funny talking about that Jack Cracker battle, man, because Hollow brought it up when we battled, saying I got booed and stuff. And I always thought that was such a funny line because anybody that was there or like watched any of the battles from that event, every single person in the tournament got booed hard. Like even the person who won Rhymefest, a fucking Grammy Award winner for writing Jesus Walks for Kanye West, got fucking booed harder than I did that day. Wow. You know what I mean? Like it was just everybody. Like I said, you have one wrong punchline, you're going to get booed for a second, but you could pick it right back up and have another one. You know, it's all in the moment and how you hold your composure together.
I didn't know that guy who wrote Jesus Walks won Scribble Jam. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like
really cool.
A lot of hit records were ghost written by battle rappers, and a lot of people don't know.
Can you reveal any here?
I know this is a terrible example because it's a terrible song, but that song by Krayshawn, what is it, Gucci something?
Right.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
I'm not sure of it, no.
But have you heard of Krayshawn?
I have indeed, yeah.
Yeah. She had a very big song. It was a huge song. It was ghostwritten by a battle rapper. It was ghostwritten. Another song, like a lot of songs, like Mr. Fab ghostwrites a lot of hit records. Like I've known about a bunch of different situations where battle rappers have wrote stuff for people.
Okay, and what's interesting is if I go on your verse tracker, there are 3 battles from Scribble Jam, but clearly you were more prolific. Weren't all these battles filmed? Were they on DVD? The Scribble Jam distribution confuses me.
Man, it's kind of a fun story. If you could do me a favor, sorry, my bad. I forgot my lighter. I'm going to run upstairs.
Okay,
Give me
go.
30 seconds. I'll be right
no
back.
Worries, no worries.
It's already, leave it in. I think it's funny.
All right, cool.
Forgot my lighter.
Shout out to Okwerdz. I'll drink some coffee because it's like 2 a.m. here, and it's like 7 p.m. there. I misjudged the time zones, so.
All right, I have returned.
Okay.
Sorry about that. And the question was about the Scribble Jam DVD releasing.
Yes.
Dude, the funniest shit about that is, like, to me, in my personal opinion, the bootlegs of Scribble Jam battles were far better than the DVDs ever were. In the sense of, like, they never released all the battles, first of all. Never. Would you never get a Scribble Jam DVD and get every single battle that happened that night? Never gonna happen. I only made the DVD, like, one time. I went, like, 4 or 5 years. I think that Jack Cracker battle, either the Jack Cracker or, what was it? Jack Cracker or Mac Lethal or something like that. Because I even, when I battled Jack Cracker, I even said the line, fuck winning, I just want to be on the DVD. I just said that because they'd never put me on the fucking DVD and I'd already been there mad years. So Scribble Jam was kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a fluke for me because there was always some bullshit reason why I would lose the first round every time. Like, I lost the first round like every single year, except 1 year. I almost made it to like the semifinals or some shit. It was the year I battled Everybody Knows in like 2008.
Yeah, that's one of the 3 that is uploaded on there.
Yeah, that's why I felt like I won Scribble Jam that year just because I made it past the first round. I was like, dude, I already fuck this shit. I was like, I'm good. But as far as the distribution goes, man, like they would only add like the most random battles, and like it was straight audio from the mixing board, so you never really got to like feel the intensity of that crowd, man. I felt like the bootlegs were so much more accurate to the way that it really was, man. But as far as battles that I've had, yeah, you're only going to see like 3, period, on camera. I battled more people than that, but you ain't going to see it. Jack Cracker, only reason you've seen that because it's a bootleg. So...
interesting. It's a shame, yeah, and I'm kind of...
It's terrible, bro. There's a lot of great battles. There's some classic Mac Lethal battles. Like, there's some crazy shit on there.
Honestly, man, like, how some people are, like, mad vinyl collectors or whatever, or crazy for trains. Like, the idea of a lost battle to me is, like, intoxicating, like, something no one's seen apart from those who saw it live. It's crazy shit, man.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. I've seen a lot of things that never made it to footage, man.
What have you seen, man? What are the greatest hits you've seen?
Dude, I've seen like No Can Do and Thesaurus like battle everybody in life a million times.
Shit.
That never went on camera. Like, you know what I mean? 4 a.m, like at a random like party, just like faded, just murking people. You know what I mean? Like shit that nobody will ever see. You know what I mean? Like there's a video of me and Iron Solomon battling that never came out. There's a battle of me versus Locksmith that never came out. Like there's so much shit. That's just me. Like I got a battle where I battled at a sold out exhibit concert, like fucking 20,000 people, and I beat everybody in the fucking building.
What?
And like,
when was that,
like,
man?
Bro, like 2005 or something, probably.
Exhibit. How did that happen?
Old stuff, bro. Didn't see one piece of that footage. The first time I ever went to New York City, and I killed it at the Rocksteady event, which at that time was the biggest rap battle in New York City, period. I made it to the finals of that, and fucking Crazy Legs from the Rocksteady crew, man. I came 1 deep with one person and my video camera, and we were starting to film that, and security checked us so hard, and I was looking at Crazy Legs like, man, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sell this. I'm just recording my battle. And he looked me in the eye and said, I swear to you, I will give you this footage. I will get you this footage. And I never seen it again in my life, bro. Some of my best work, some of my finest work in the freestyle era, never get to see it ever again. I remember it was like the same place where they filmed the TV Awards that year. It was like some kind of ballroom in New York that had like a huge balcony, just completely sold out, full of people, and I was just crushing, man. It was crazy.
That's crazy. And how did that come about? Like, how were you organized to open with a battle?
Well, that one, Rocksteady was one of the, it was Rocksteady and Scribble Jam were the two biggest at the time. And it was invite only, you know what I mean? So you had to know somebody. And that time, like I said, California didn't have a big scene for battling on a organized level. So, I had footage of me battling, a bunch of no-names and just beating people very easily. It looked cool, but I wasn't facing like huge competition or anything like that. But, my boy, Mortal Technique had, I believe he had won Rocksteady either the year before I went or maybe the year even before that or 2 years before. So I contacted him, seeing if he could put in a good word for me. And he actually made the connection and I got invited. And that's how I got into the Rocksteady.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a really cool story. So we transitioned to a time, very important in battle rap, the kind of, late 2008, mid 2009 grind time now, kind of golden era, of which you were very much an exponent of that. And one of the things that I find really compelling about your story is that, like, the aggression that is so dominant in the freestyle era was something that I felt retained in your writing. Like, you always had that in your arsenal and it was very strong throughout.
Yeah, man. I mean, in my opinion, charisma is the most powerful weapon in battle rap, period. So to me, it's all about selling everything. You know what I mean? Selling all the bars that you have. If they don't believe it, then it doesn't matter. If I can make an entire crowd fucking lose their mind just off saying bitch, off something hella simple, then I've really got them in my hands. You know what I mean? If I could say something hella simple and make you go crazy, or I could say something complex, it's how you sell that line. So the aggression always helped me really sell it. It was very believable because it was natural. You know what I mean? I like to pick battles with, people that I want to yell at. Personally, it makes it easier for me. That's why you don't see me battling like all my friends and shit like that, because I'm just, you know what I mean? It doesn't give me a lot of motivation in these...
So is there a cathartic element to battling these people?
How do you mean? Say that again?
Is there kind of, when you battle these people, you get sort of, your demons out, you help to kind of, it does something for you, you can speak your mind a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it really, it gets a lot out, you know what I'm saying? I just be, angry about shit in life anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of shit pisses me off, so it's good, but when you have a specific human to, like, point it at, if there's someone you don't like, or, like, maybe, like, because to me, like, I always looked at it as, like, someone who, like, defended the culture of battle rap. So it's like, if I see somebody like really hurting it, you know what I mean, or biting someone's style, or, you know what I mean, just doing some unacceptable shit, like, I kind of feel like, being over there and stopping it, you know what I mean? It's kind of a motivation for me, rather than just someone paid me some money and I'm just going to battle a random person's name out of a hat, you know what I mean? Like, when I was doing freestyle battles and nobody knew who I was, and I had to just do whatever I had to do, it was different. I had a different hunger. But now when we're at this stage, it's like, it doesn't even make sense. I got to battle people. When I've been in the game this long, I have to battle people that make me feel passionate. That's the most important thing.
And it's fascinating, Okwerdz, that, you were there at a time very much when battle rap was, changing forever. It was moving from, like, videos being of tournaments happening that were made for the audience there to YouTube battles that, there was an audience there, but, they're built for the view count, really. And this is with the grind time now, as I was saying. And, was this something within you? Was it like, okay, the tournament scene's kind of dead, but this YouTube thing's popping. Did you just want to continue being a battle rapper?
Well, I had actually quit for 4 years, and I was just making music. I stopped doing battles, and this was all during the freestyle era. You know what I mean? I don't remember what year it was. Maybe, like, I don't even know, man. Sometime like 4 years before I battled Jay's Juice, basically.
Yeah.
Whenever that was. I had retired, and I was making big moves on the music scene. You know what I mean? I just got a gold record in Australia, and we were touring and doing all this. So it was like, I wasn't tripping off battle rap. I felt like I could do everything that I could do. You know what I mean? I've been to Scribble Jam. Probably not going to win the motherfucker. I did really good at Rocksteady. Like, I got some big shit under my belt. I battled some really dope ass people in the scene. Like, I don't really know where I can go from here. You know what I mean? So I just continued on my path and using, the popularity I got from battle rap to help me push my music. But then, I was always heavily involved in the community, just like I am now, and like seeing things change to like WRCs and then eventually into grind time and stuff. I was always a fan of it, you know what I mean? And the WRCs fascinated me, but it wasn't all the way written, but, a good portion of it was. But, it was heavily based on freestyles as well and rebuttals and whatnot. But once I seen it going into grind time, I found it very interesting because, even before that, when I watched smack battles, the first time I saw a smack battle, it really tripped me out because I couldn't believe that people were just showing up to a park and spitting whole songs at each other with no beat. I was just could not believe this. I was like, this is crazy. Like, well, these fools are really just writing everything. This was a new concept for me, and I was just like, I want to battle one of these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? First time I seen Mook, I wanted to battle him just because I thought it was different than anything I'd ever done. You know what I mean? Here I am, like, not knowing where else I could go with it, and I see this other shit that's different. And, it boiled down to Lush calling me one day and offering me some money to battle somebody I didn't like. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. And, when the Jay's Juice battle came out, it immediately hit World Star, and like my life changed like the next day. You know what I mean? The day it came out, like people were starting to recognize me, in my city, or like when I go out to a club or a bar or something like that, people will start recognizing me. And this ain't even hit 1 million views on YouTube. This is one of those only at like 30,000 views or something. You know what I mean? I never had nothing with 30,000 views before. Like on a format where you could count it, I'd probably been seen a lot of times, but YouTube had the actual fucking number count. You know what I mean? So it was big for me. You know what I mean? And it was just a high demand for motherfuckers asking me to battle. So I just jumped back into it.
And Arsonal, who was Arsonal at this time in kind of the public eye?
At that time, when I battled Jay's Juice, I'd never even heard of Arsonal. I don't think he had even really started his run yet in the, I guess I would say Fight Club, I guess is where he started. I think it was before that. It was around the time, like after I battled Jay's Juice, or maybe he was doing that around the same time, actually, now that I'm trying to put a timeline together. Because shortly after I battled Jay's Juice, I battled XI at the next one. And then there was one more grind time event where, I did well in the XI battle, but it was like a battle of LA where Diz and Locksmith battled. It was that Grind Time was talking to me about, I'm getting a really good response on all my battles and stuff, and World Star was picking them up and all this shit. So they were willing to like drop $1,000 on me to battle somebody. Like, yo, we'll fly out and get you any opponent that you want that'll accept a battle for $1,000. So I had this like, I was going to call out 3 people at that event, where Diz and Locksmith were battling, and they had me spit like this acapella verse, and at the end of the verse, I was like calling out Arsonal, Charles Hamilton, and T-Rex to a battle. I was like, yo, we got $1,000 for, whoever, you know what I mean? And before we could even put that video out, they had already asked Arsonal first, and he had already said yes right away, so we didn't even put the video out. We're just like, fuck it, let's just do the battle then. And that's pretty much how that went. You know what I mean? He said yes to the battle, and that was that.
Yeah.
It was kind of, I wanted to battle, because like I remember how I said, like, I'd wanted to battle like a smack type rapper. And at that time, he had, before I had called him out, he had won that fucking, that tournament where he beat Hollow and, had Dame Dash over there and all that type of shit. So he was like, he was like the fucking the really hot up and comer on like the Smack Lions Den kind of scene, you know what I mean? But he was better than a lot of the motherfuckers that was already there, you know what I mean? But he was on this little hot streak on the East Coast and everybody knew him and shit, so I thought he would be a dope opponent to go after.
Yeah, it's an interesting battle for both of your fan bases, really. It's both out of your sort of apparent comfort zones.
A lot of people was doubting me. It was so funny, man. Because because it was new for me, you know what I mean? People always wonder why I want to battle smack rappers, and it's like, bro, I've been battling corny white boys freestyling over beat for like fucking 15 years, bro. Like it's time to try something different. So that's pretty much what started that whole thing, you know.
And you start your first saying that no one on the Fresh Coast even knows him. So kind of any home advantage.
It was a new market for him. Like looking back, like it was really big for me when the battle happened. It was like way life changing for me when that battle came out, but. Looking back, now I just thought of it as I crushed him and I did hella good. But like looking back, it was huge for Arsonal too. So it was like it really fucking put us both on in a way. No matter who you felt won the battle, like it put us both on like in a big way that people were paying attention to. It was like before celebrities were really actively like admitting in public that they like battle rap and shit. We had some of the first celebrities like contacting us, you know what I mean? It was that battle was a real game changer in a lot of ways, man. I felt like it set the blueprint for the way a lot of motherfuckers is doing things right now.
Yeah, and there's several of these in battle rap, but kind of like the classic event stages, just the way the event looks and kind of like the crowd, and it looks great.
Yeah, the pit's the best, bro. I hate that rapping on stage shit like I'm doing a Shakespeare fucking play or something. Like, I would never agree to that ever again.
No, I feel you. And, you sort of say that after 2 minutes of him rapping, you only remember about 2 bars, which is kind of fair because I'd say his first is pretty bland.
Yeah, and it was the strongest round. It was the only one that I could really even have some kind of debatable conversation about winning, you know what I mean? Other than that, I feel like I just smashed everything in that one. It's a matter of opinion. There are people that think I got 3-0'd in that battle, so it's really up to whatever it is that you're looking for in a rap battle.
Okwerdz, I do try and be objective on this, and I am a big Arsenal fan, but it's just not his best stuff, you know?
No, it's really not. It's really not. He wasn't ready for what was about to happen.
And on the real, I got respect for Tech Lux, Solomon Mook, and Math, but the rest suck. I'll fuck T-Rex up.
No, because you have this kind of, I love watching your battles where you just have this kind of clobber of truth. Like you have this sort of strong punch, but it's kind of got this honesty behind it, where it's like, you say in the first that he lost the battle to the fake Tech 9, you made the track with the real one. Like that's really good.
I appreciate that, man. Thank
you. When you talk about making the track with the real Tech 9, what's the story behind that? That's so cool.
Man, a really long time ago, man, in like 2004, me and Tech had some mutual friends out in Kansas City, and they linked us up. And when Tech came on tour in Santa Cruz, California, we linked up and did it. Shit was fire. Long time, man. It's crazy because back then, man, I was just a young kid, bro. I was like, 2004? That's a minute from now, man. I was young, dude, and I saved up some money, and I just wanted to get a feature on my album, you know what I mean? And Tech was something that I could afford, and I paid him for the feature. And it's hella funny that, like, through all of this, like, at that time, I was just some kid buying a feature. But several years later, like, whenever I run into Tech now, it's like he totally knows everything about me because of all the battle shit and stuff. So it's like gone full circle. You know what I mean? It's hella funny. Like the last time I run into him, maybe about a year ago, he had told me that he's just constantly hearing my fucking name all the time. People are always bringing me up to him and like, you know, talking about our song and like talking about him getting mentioned in a battle. He's like, oh, I'm always hearing about you going back and forth with T-Rex and T-Rex talking about me and da-da-da. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to see how it went full circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. And as they say, Ars finishes his round, and you say kind of out loud, going to be a lot easier than you thought. And you know, I do feel you. Just to close up this battle, I saw online on your AMA, you and Arsonal went to a strip club.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And someone thought he was Wale.
Oh wait, no, that was just a regular club that time. In Miami. Or what was Arsonal? Actually, you know what? I don't think Arsonal was at Grizzlemania 2 at all. Right. No, I don't think so. So actually, no, I haven't been to a strip club with Arsonal, but I've been to a regular club with Arsonal.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're right. Sorry, I was just your AMA. We were at a club one time in Anaheim, and I shit you not, somebody stopped him, super excited.
That's a real thing, dude. We were,
it's crazy.
You know, we were at this. There was this clothing brand called Irisu, and they sponsored me, and I had linked them up with a bunch of other folks in the battle rap community, and they had this really high budget like shoot where they flew, you know, all the top guys from Grind Time out to their warehouse, and we shot a bunch of pictures and partied, and they put us up in really nice hotels, and we're doing this whole promo campaign. And like while we were out there, you know, after all the business was done, they had also bought us like VIP tables at this really cool club near like Disneyland or whatever. And we were all out there just, you know, popping bottles and kicking it. And, you know, when the night was about over and the lights was on and we're like, you know, gonna leave and stuff, some dude really stopped Arsonal and thought he was Wale. And I was like, bro, you're never gonna live this down. You're never gonna forget this.
And we move on to the next battle, which is like, I mean, do you look back? Because in my eyes, there is this kind of early trinity of like classic kind of Okwerdz battles against like awesome guys who are going to have huge smack careers. You know, obviously, we just said Arsonal, this is Hollow, then on to T-Rex. Like, it's crazy that this happened.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I'm very
really good battles. Like,
I'm very strategic, man, in everything that I do. Everything has a plan, bro. I knew, you know what I mean? It's my job to know shit that's cool before everybody else knows that it's cool. You know what I mean? That's my job as an artist. So I have to make the right choices on who's the best person to battle. Like some of these people, like they do comeback battles and I don't even know like why they fucking battled who they battle. It's like, bro, like what are you doing? You could have got so much better. It's your job. Like no one out here in battle rap is caring about you and trying to get you to the forefront. You know what I mean? It's up to you to choose the strategic battles that are going to help you climb and for you to perform well in those battles.
And your foresight really pays off with this battle against Hollow, because obviously Hollow was big at the time, but now he's bigger than ever. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's funny. When I battled Hollow, I was giving him the shot. So.
Jeez, and this is a huge. I mean, it's a huge video. It's very close to 1.5 million. Both your mixtapes shown extensively in the intro, which is a nice touch.
Oh yeah. I was one of the people who started the advertising in battle rap as well.
Do you remember what Diz is wearing in this battle? For a little bit of trivia.
So, of course, I'll never forget the break in case of emergency in the fucking turtleneck. I'll never forget that.
So yeah, he has like the dollar bill sort of zipped up on his shirt.
Yeah, great. Diz always is where it has classic clothing, man. If you pay attention.
But yeah, as I said, this is an absolutely, you know, ginormous battle, really. But you know,
it's my favorite battle that I've ever been involved in. It's the only battle. Yeah, man, it's the only battle where my own brother called me and said, "Yo, this is the only person that's ever tested you." He's like, "All your other battles have been a fucking cakewalk." He's like, "This is the only one that gave you a run for your money, that was actually like you had to earn that fucking win hard."
And look, is your brother's like authority? Is he kind of the opinion on your battling, or?
Not even that, man. It's just crazy that he would feel compelled to reach out to me. You know what I mean? He felt that much about it. You know what I mean? He doesn't really say that about all my battles because usually like they're all just like 3-0 victories. You know what I mean? So however you feel about me and Hollow's battle, like, I've heard every opinion possible. Nothing bothers me. I don't care. But I do feel that I won the battle. So he made it. He told me, like, this is one battle you really had to work to get that win. You know what I mean? So
now, faggot here, listen. You want to say if you think having a job is a joke, then bitch, you're probably broke. Motherfucker, look. And hell yeah, we're biased. So if you almost fade me, I'll just yell out Fresh Coast and they'll all go crazy.
No, yeah, it's no doubt a classic.
And if you thought I lost, like, it's still like it's really a win for everybody. The battle changed both of our lives, so you really can't tell me that I lost anything. You know what I mean? It made me money, made me more popular, like changed my whole life. So no one could tell me that I really lost anything.
No, rightfully so, man. And today, 2016 standards is a huge battle, but back then in 2010, the battle world was a lot smaller, wasn't it? So this really was a clash of the titans.
I mean, people didn't really know how to feel when it happened. Like, I just remember, because it was on New Year's Eve, so like people were fucked up already. But because I believe like 7 or 8 minutes after we battled, we were doing the countdown for it to be New Year's. So it was like we just made it, and people were fucked up. But I just remember after it was over, people just had this like weird like looks on their face, like somebody just like dropped a nuclear bomb or something. They didn't even know how to react. You know what I mean? They couldn't even tell us that we did good. They're just like, "Fuck, what happened?"
Yeah, and why was that?
Because it was just so crazy on both sides, man. I was just so used to. It's the only battle I ever had where I blacked out, and somehow I still managed to spit all my bars, and I don't even remember doing it. Every other battle that I've done in the written era, like, I remember fucking, bless you. I remember rapping, you know what I mean? I remember going through all my rounds. At that point when I was battling Hollow, I do not remember rapping it at all. It was like some like weird blackout shit because it was just so tense. It was like I knew that this was one dude that could beat me if I wasn't on my shit, because Hollow's, arguably the best in the world, him and Diz. So you can't fuck around. Even at that time, he hadn't even fully become who he is. He was still so dangerous, you know what I mean? So I had to really use all energy on that one.
Yeah, and in your first, you accused Hollow of certain symptoms that he always does, this kind of over-enforced horrorcore,
go right in.
Yeah, everyone at the wedding die, the ring girls get arrested and fucked by 7 guys, pretty dark, actually, the whole sort of forcing your family to fuck each other to make your next generation retards.
Yeah.
It's pretty
he fell right into it, man. But even then, I had planned to go first. So either way, it works. Either it's I'm going first and like diffusing it, or I'm rebuttaling everything you just fucking did. So either way, it worked out.
Is it fair? He goes on to mention you and Averb didn't happen because of money, calls you a diva. You do seem to smile as if you know what he's talking about.
Oh, I know exactly what he's talking about because it's not real and it's hilarious to me.
You and Averb have never...
Oh, no. I could tell you the real story of how that went down. But I mean, what you got to think about, too, is like, even some stuff in battle rap, like, I don't do it personally, but many times, like, people will take something that happened and switch, like, a minor detail to, like, paint you in a certain way because it's a rap battle. But what really happened was, man, I'll tell you like this. Before I battled Hollow, it was in like the little limbo time between Arsonal and Hollow battles. Sunny Bamboo had reached out to me. They were putting together like a Midwest grind time event or something like that. And he wanted me to battle Averb. And I was like, cool, that'd be a dope battle. You know what I mean? We had already been talking about it. And I gave him an amount that I wanted to do the battle for. The amount was agreed upon. He said that he was getting possible sponsors, to help fund the event and whatnot. And I was like, cool, give me a call back when you got some information. And come to find out, this was the time, I don't know how familiar you are with this era of grind time, but there was a time when Lush and Mr. ATLA were going through a lot of problems, and he was an entity that was funding a lot of battles, that was putting money in sponsorships, and he was like managing Conceited or something at the time. And so he was the guy who was going to be funding that event where they wanted me and Averb to battle. And this is right about the time that him and Lush got into it, and he ended up leaving Grind Time. And the event never happened. Everything crashed, and it just didn't happen. You never heard about that event happening because it didn't happen. And that's the story of me and Averb and the whatever diva story that Hollow said.
It's a shame that battle didn't go down.
Yeah, I mean, it still could, but it's just so boring now that I would never but there was a time that it would have been a heated battle. But now it's to the point where it's like, no, I turned it down last year. The last time I turned it down. I was like, no.
On what platform?
It was going to be on King of the Dot. It was around the time, or maybe it's been more than a year now that I think about it. It was around the time when he had just battled back-to-back on King of the Dot. He battled Caustic and then Illmaculate, and he got killed by both of them, barely tried, and it was just terrible. Overall terrible.
The Illmac battle is bloody.
Yeah. Overall terrible, man.
His crowd thing at the third round is like, oh
my God. He got cooked in both of those battles as far as I'm concerned. But, it was just, he called Lush kind of on this attitude like, I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? I need to do something good on the West, kind of attitude, you know what I mean? Like, I need to do like a real thing, you know what I mean? It's like, give me Okwerdz, I hate that motherfucker kind of attitude, you know what I mean? And Lush called me and like told me all this, and I was like, nah, man, tell Averb I said suck a dick. And that was about that. I'm just not interested, man. I hit him on Twitter shortly after. I was like, yo, if you could prove to me that you'll give a fuck, I'll consider it, bro. But he couldn't give me a straight answer because he's Mr. Tough Guy that always has to troll on Twitter. So he can't be serious. So I just dropped it. I really don't care. You know what I mean? He's not inspiring for me to cook young Averb real quick. You know what I'm saying? He's not really someone worth coming back for. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think that as a comeback battle, that's kind of a bit of a wet fish.
The passion's not there no more, dude. There was a time when we would go back and forth like all the fucking time. You know what I mean? I just don't feel that way anymore. I've gotten so many arguments with Averb and then seen him later on in real life and him try to be hella nice to me and shake my hand and shit. It just killed the vibe. Like, this motherfucker it's not even real. Like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to battle Averb. I don't even feel that way. So...
you start your first against Hollow, you don't need no dick riders. He'll rhyme tortoise skin and Martian bitch, and I'll be like, boo, why does he write this shit? I love your like theatrical nature here. It's great.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. That's it's one of those intangibles that is a powerful part of your repertoire if you're going to be a battle rapper, man. I think it's all those kind of intangible things that you can't measure. Like, well, punchlines, you can count how many punchlines you had, I guess, you know what I mean? But like, you can't really measure or count like charisma and like the way, you know what I mean, people reacting because of the way you said something or the facial expression that you had, you know what I mean?
And as I said, the symbiote, you incorporate Hollow. I hope you get raped to death by free steers, chopped up by electric shears, reincarnated as T-Rex's ear. It's, really strong sequence there.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I just really wanted to show him what he does, and I could make it funnier.
And I think rightly so, you go in on the intercom in a generator. What does that mean?
Oh, dude, I love it. I love that line because it's just been remixed for so many years, bro. Like, how could that... I mean, how old is that battle now? I don't even know. Like
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years ago, and like still got remixed in a battle this year. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is remarkable. And then at the end, you say, your first, you could just yell Fresh Coast and I'll go mad. Like, Fresh Coast was huge back then, right?
Oh, man, I love that line. I told people that line. They told me not to say it. I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm saying it.
You're always going to get a reaction to that line, aren't you?
I just wanted to be a dick. You know what I mean? It was like, that's just my fucked up sense of humor. Like, it's not like a lot of people come at me like, I think I'm hella cool because I got everybody to react to that, and it's all just because they're biased. No, I did it because I have that sense of humor, and I just wanted to be an over-the-top dick. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if you're going to call me this, I might as well just fucking do it then, So that was kind of my approach with that, and I was so scared to say that line because I knew that either the crowd would think it was corny and they wouldn't react, and I would just look like an idiot, or the crowd was going to go crazy. I didn't know. It was a gamble. So I said it. I was so happy when it paid off.
And I mean, in Hollow's second, he really ramps up the performance level, and he has that in his locker. He both has this kind of off-kilter.
That's the round where he did the hand over his eye and all that. Yeah. Oh my god, bro! That's like that's like top one like best shit ever said to me.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I mean, is it kind of, a little bit intimidating in a certain way having someone like that in front of you, or?
I mean, I don't know, man. I grew up in Stockton, so like a lot of these guys that think they're gangsters, like I could just tell that they're not, and it doesn't really scare me. I mean, they all blink the same, they all bleed the same. You know what I mean? It's like it's funny and kind of I guess comparison, I would say. It's funny, I watched this Mike Tyson documentary, and he was talking about how he feels before he goes into the ring. And it was crazy that it was exactly the same mentality I have when I do a rap battle. And it tripped me out so hard that he thinks that same way. Like, when I'm right there, before it starts, in those seconds while they're setting up and we're standing in the circle, and like, I'm just, my anger is at like an all-time high at that moment. And I'm just like, I have this stare that everybody always talks about. You never see it on camera because it never gets caught, but like I stare like into their souls like every time, and like I never blink, and I watch them blink every time and look away, and that's when I know that I'm gonna win. And it's funny, like I've been saying that shit for years, that I could see their weakness, and then I watched this Mike Tyson documentary and he described it, and like,
yeah, actually, I remember him saying it.
Yeah, it's exactly what I do. It's so crazy to know that someone else does that, and it's like I would do it, and as soon as they look away, I kind of have this smile where I'm like, okay, you're not really that tough at all. You know what I mean? They all did it. Every single person I ever battled did it. All of them. And
in your second, you say that he lost a fake battle to Conceited. What are you talking about there?
Oh yeah, man. They had a oh man, yeah, the crowd went crazy on that because it was this thing that Grind Time put out. It was like one of their, I feel like it was like a promo to one of their events. Like, you know how like when they'll have an event and sometimes they'll drop a trailer and they'll show a few bars from like each battle. You know what I mean? It was like one of those, but it started out as a Grind Time battle. Like the camera went up and people were hosting. I think it was PH hosting, and they introduced Hollow. And then they introduced Conceited, just like a real battle. And if you could search it, Hollow Don versus Conceited on YouTube, it's still there. And they introduced the battle. And I don't remember who they said is going first, but whoever it is, like, yo, round one on you. And they go to fucking say, yo. And in the first round, they're like, just kidding. And like everybody goes fucking crazy and shit. So, and it's just a fake thing. And then it goes on to the trailer, the rest of the trailer, all the rest of the battles that like happened to the event or whatever. So it was like hyped up as like, it was the thing that was really buzzing through the Grind Time community. Like people were really talking about it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to throw it in the line. Like you even lost a fake battle, you know, kind of line.
And you talk about the Grind Time community. Was that like on message boards or?
It was pretty much everything, dude. Message boards, you know, social media, in person, at the events, other MCs, just known fans that we had, you know what I mean? Just everybody when I say that.
And like, I think it's fair to say, I mean, you can say the same thing about slightly earlier Don't Flop. I'm speaking kind of lunacy post, maybe a year or so era, where it's...
You mean like with like WRCs and Jump Off, that sort of thing?
No, yeah, I just mean like there's an era in Don't Flop and there's an era in Grind Time as well, where it's just like, it seems like battling is the best thing in the world. Like the crowds love it, the battlers love it. Like it seems like you were part of that era so much.
Yeah, it was the best time. I mean, it sound biased as shit because it was like
I'm saying it, man. I mean,
like real shit. I think even if I didn't do the things that I did, I still think it might have still been the best like time in battle rap, just because it was so new, man. Like the format was new, and fucking everybody was different. You know what I mean? There wasn't a successful style to copy. It was like we all had to try this thing and see, you know what I mean? There were people from the freestyle era that couldn't make it, you know what I mean? Their written shit was terrible and they died off, and that was that. Like some people didn't make it this far. So that's kind of how it was, man. It's kind of crazy.
Took out an entire Arsonal. What the fuck can a Hollow do? I mean, the wordplay's old now, but back then, you know.
Yeah, and then Hollow followed up with the fucking greatest rebuttal maybe ever.
You think so?
Jesus Christ. It was like a double rebuttal. It was like a rebuttal to 2 lines that I said at the same time. Like, that was really dope.
So he mixed the chopped and screwed.
Yeah. It was a rebuttal to what would a hollow do and to the chop and screw shit all at the same time. That was highly impressive to me, man. But I mean, granted, they do kind of rhyme, but
and then going into the okay with the words, that's crazy as well.
God, yo, I just want to say this on record. Thank God for Hollow Don for saying that fucking bar. Thank you. I just want to thank you for saying that bar, because no one in life will ever have a better name flip to me ever again. So I'm glad we just got that out of the way. I'm so happy that he said it fucking 6 years ago. It's over. Like, what could you really do? You know what I mean? It sounds terrible now. So thank you to all, you know what I mean? Especially in this generation of spelling words and switching letters around and all this dumb shit motherfuckers do now. Like, if I was to come back, fools would have a field day with my name. But I think because Hollow said that shit, it really helped. No one's gonna top that.
No, that's so true. Yeah, it is just the greatest name flip. I gotta say, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, no one's gonna beat that, bro. I challenge anyone to try and beat that. Even if you're not battling me, just say it in your battle and just see if it works. It's not better.
Comment on the video at battlerapresume. But so you versus Arsonal was uploaded June 2009. You versus Hollow was uploaded February 2010, both on Grind Time. In that era, you were very much Mr. Grind Time. Did your life change? I mean, how did your life change?
Oh, dude, my life changed instantly. Like I said, when the Jay's Juice battle came out, and this was only, this was before it even broke 100,000 views. We're talking like 25, 30,000 views. And I was able
to like 215,000 now.
Yeah. And this is just in the beginning, like talking right out the gate, right when it hits World Star, it becomes something different. You know what I mean? That's what I've learned about World Star. If it's something different from a fight video, if it's something that people actually like on World Star, your life changes instantly.
And do you know how it got Grind Time liaised with World Star?
Yeah, I know exactly how, man. The owner, Q, is from Canada, and he likes King of the Dot and he likes battle rap. And I think I want to say, I don't know this, you may have to ask somebody like Lush or something like that, but I believe it was like the first website that ever picked up Grind Time that was big was allhiphop.com, got Johnny Storm versus Mosh Jelton, and that was the first Grind Time battle to get like 60,000 views, and everybody was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And after it got on All Hip Hop, I believe that's when like World Star came around after that. I don't know who made the official connection, who made the email, but after it was picking up some traction on All Hip Hop, it was kind of a big deal. And then they started like almost posting almost every Grind Time battle. It was interesting, dude. They really started fucking with us for a while, and it really helped, man, in that T-Rex era, because they posted all of our blogs every week. It was like for a solid few weeks. Every week, like this week, it'll be a blog from T-Rex talking shit about me. Next week is my blog back to T-Rex. And these things were just skyrocketing hits and views, man. It was so crazy. Like, people would, like, if you back to how my life changed, shit that got on World Star, like the day, like literally, like my battle with Arsonal was uploaded like late at night, and everybody was online waiting for it or whatever. And we were all in some chat room just waiting for it to finish uploading. And the very next day, I got recognized by like 4 people at the mall. And just started growing and growing. And this was just like the first day. Hadn't even been out for 24 hours, you know what I mean? And it was just starting to go crazy. I mean, even after the Jay's Juice battle, like I said, when it was at like 30,000 views, like they were letting me into the club for free and like doing all types of shit, like locally, you know what I mean, around in Stockton, or like certain areas in the Bay Area, which is like an hour and a half drive away from Stockton.
Wow, really? Wow.
So that was just off the Jay's Juice battle, and that wasn't shit, bro. That was 30,000 fucking views, bro. Like, when we're talking hundreds of thousands to millions, when the Arsonal battle came out, like, my whole life changed everywhere. Just even to this day, like, I get recognized everywhere I go. Like, it doesn't matter what city I'm in or what country I'm in. It's everywhere. It's really insane. And
during this explosion of popularity, were you continuing with the music that you'd kind of left behind to battle?
Yeah. I mean, I've been one thing I say, like, why I don't battle no more right now is because if you really want to be the best at that and you really want to propel yourself like into the forefront, like you really have to immerse yourself into it like all the way. Like it's really hard to do many other projects at one time when you're heavily like preparing for battles constantly. You know what I mean? Not just because of the content, you need constant content for the battles, but it's like, it really takes a lot of time, man. It's really like, especially like for me, my preparation for battles is almost like some character acting type of shit where I want to be locked up in a room by myself on some like Heath Ledger shit. So it's taxing, you know what I'm saying? So if you have desires and interest to do other things, like it can be hard. So when I decided to stop battling, and especially like, when I was battling, doing Arsonal battle and the Hollow battle and stuff, I had already had mad material finished as far as music that I was waiting for a platform to release it on. So I had already had hella shit done. I had like 2 records worth of stuff. And we were creating those non-perishables compilations at the same time during all the battles and all the merchandising. And I'm always doing shows and tours as well in between all that type of stuff. So I'm always pretty busy on the music side as well. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But now that I'm not battling now, like I can go like full force.
Yeah. No, all the stuff that's on the start of the video sounds great, man. Like really, really enjoyable. And the amount of guests you've got on the albums of big renown is very impressive.
Hey, appreciate it, man. It's getting crazier, man. Getting crazier and crazier, man. Like all of my idols that I grew up listening to, a good majority of them, I've been able to speak with, and some I can work with, and some I have on my album and stuff. So it's been awesome.
So we get on to your next battle with T-Rex, and it's fair to say, sorry.
Nurse Randy.
No.
We refer to him as Nurse Randy for the rest of this portion.
Okay, Nurse Randy, who forms the final triptych in the trilogy of kind of these opening grind time battles, which are kind of crazy. And it's fair to say that obviously Arsonal and Hollow have gone on to become OGs of the scene, but T-Rex very much was an OG at the time. Is that fair?
Yeah. Part of why I wanted to battle T-Rex is in my respective, I don't know if you want to call it genre or era or the type of battle rap I do, like, and where I came from, like, I consider myself an OG who's been around a long time since I was a youngster, since I was like 16, 17 years old. And so T-Rex is someone who I felt in his respective field had done, similar as myself, just on the other spectrum of everything. So who better, to battle each other? And he's not Mook, so it's not someone that's going to cost $10 million. So maybe I could piss him off just enough to where he might actually do it. And that's how that happened. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought in a million years, dude, when I wrote that bar calling him out in the Arsonal battle, I never thought in a million years that he would respond.
You can't see, Ak. I'm a heat rock slumping him dead. Why am I battling an Ewok with a Reebok pump on his head? Look. But now you the hop off, you the top dog in the range, but where the fuck was the dot mob when you got robbed for your chain?
Because T-Rex always just acted like he was the shit and above everything and everybody. You know what I mean? So I just said it. He was someone I could pick on. He was an OG that I felt, A, we could feasibly have the money for, and B, I could definitely beat him. So it's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Let's pick on little Randy. And I threw the line out and kind of like sent a shockwave, dude, through the world, man. Like, it set New York on fire, dude. Like, I've heard so many stories from people from New York about when that line hit. Like, T-Rex would never live that down if he didn't battle me. Like, he told me himself after we battled that he would go to spots in the hood and everybody would just be like, you gonna let that white boy talk to you like that? You better battle him. Like, this shit was like affecting him in real life, bro. Like, it got under his skin to where, he didn't have to do it like on a status level because he was higher status than me. You know what I mean? This type of battle had never really been done before anyway. So he didn't have to do it. But it was just that it was just getting to him so hard that he had to fucking do it. I have this way of just getting under people's skin, even if maybe I don't deserve it. And it works in my favor.
And T-Rex's fame stemmed not from YouTube at this point, but from Smack DVD?
Yeah. He was one of the first before the shit was on YouTube, like myself. So I figured he would be a good opponent. He didn't cost too much money, even though he did tax a lot for what the time was. But it is what it is. Not nowhere near what motherfuckers are trying to do now, or even other people in this crew. You know what I mean? Like Mook, asked for 100,000 or 40,000 or whatever the number is now. It's a lot of fucking money. So I knew not to call out someone like Mook, because I knew it wasn't going to happen. It would just be stupid. You know what I mean? So,
and I don't want to offend any listeners here, but I have to be honest with this podcast as well as trying to be fair. I have never enjoyed a T-Rex verse. Probably ever. I can't vibe with it.
Hey, he's had some crazy ones, man. I could recommend.
Sure he has, man. I'm in the minority. I know. I'm not trying to kind of rile up the majority here.
Have you seen him versus G Soldier?
I haven't actually. No.
Watch that.
Okay.
Watch T-Rex versus G Soldier. Watch T-Rex versus Young Ill, and you might like him. Mm-hmm. Those were like some of his finest moments.
Yeah, wasn't that Battle America, that Young Ill? I think.
That might be the best one-round battle of all time. Those were like some of Rex's like finer moments. It was kind of funny. Like after I beat him, he turned up a lot, and he was on a little run before he got cooked a couple of times and it slowed down. But after I battled him, he kind of went on a little run and was doing really good. Some of his finest work, in my opinion. I would check out those two battles. They're both one-rounders. When he was kind of just getting paid to do this little one-round battle tour in various places, but he was really cooking. Like people regard that as like some of his best shit.
And he begins and we have lines like "wouldn't wave a firearm if his sleeve was burning."
Yeah,
not
it's
bad.
like some. Yeah, he has a lot of general bars like that. That like, dude, I don't know. I've been doing this a while, man. I heard like bars like that. Like 15 years, bro. Like I've heard variations of all of those bars. So like even when you see me hosting or in the crowd at a battle, I hardly react to anything because I've heard everything. It's got to be some charismatic shit that can hit me now. You know what I mean? Some intangible shit.
And he pulls out a flat cap, the Okwerdz patented flat cap. That was weird.
Wasn't even a real Kangol.
No.
Couldn't even bring the real shit, bro. What the fuck? Don't disrespect me with that shit. I'm the one that taught. T-Rex be throwing hats now and spinning around throwing hats. I think I taught T-Rex how to throw hats, bro. I think I taught him how to throw hats. Anybody else throwing hats? That's my shit. That is my shit. I invented that in battle.
And, something that plagues the rest of his rounds in this battle as well, he does another...
Worse. It used to be worse in the old days when there was no rules and no YouTube people to, like, judge you and shit. It was like... I remember in a battle, I didn't have no... Like, it was some random freestyle tournament, like, when I was, like, fucking... Maybe before I was 20 years old. And... I couldn't really think of nothing to say about him, just freestyling, but he happened to have like a pick in his hair. He had an afro pick in his hair. And I freestyled about pulling his pick out of his hair and kicking it into the crowd as I did it at the same time. And the crowd went fucking berserk. And that was like all I could think to do. But because I did it, it worked. If you were to do some shit like that today, I don't think it would end well for anybody.
No one seems to like when physical contact happens in battles. It's kind of...
We used to like pull hoods over people's heads and do all types of shit in the street, bro. So that's why, you see a lot of these battle rappers be punking fools and like none of them never do none of that to me. They always keep their distance.
He threatens to pull a gun so big it'll make your hat run. I don't really get that bar.
Yeah.
But...
T-Rex had some terrible closing lines that whole battle. His closers were all bad. Like, all of them were bad. Like even in his best round, like I think most people would debate the most that his first round was his best. So even in his best round, terrible closer.
Really bad. And
all my closers were super strong, man. That's like the bar that has to be the strongest to me.
Yeah, that's the sort of freestyle mentality, isn't it? For sure. Him ducking you all year. Is how you start. You just needed 9 months because his ear was pregnant. It's fair to say that he has a kind of slightly odd ear.
Oh, dude, it was crazy to see it in person for the first time, man.
You say he's a bigger faggot than Solar? Who's that?
Yeah, you know, I get this question a lot, man. It makes me feel old. But I'm assuming that you've heard of the rap group Gangstar, classic group with Guru. Before Guru passed away, I believe Solar was his manager, and he had control of a lot of his last shit, and he did some shady things. And at the time, like, the entire community was really pissed at him. So I don't just mean battle rap, I just mean like hip hop in general. So it was like kind of an overall theme, period. Like, if you watch some of the other battles from that event, like, you hear like a lot of the hosts saying fuck Solar and like a lot of shit like that. So it was kind of a current event in hip hop, and it's like, you know, Gangstar was one of my favorite rap groups of all time. So I felt passionate about the issue, even though it may not have even been my place to say the shit, but I just felt like it because, you know, it was one of my heroes. So
it goes unexplained, and one of the co-hosts puts a finger up to the camera saying "fuck Solar," like, you know.
Exactly.
Very passionate.
Yeah. No, I've noticed that a lot, man. A few people have asked me about that line. But yeah, at the time it was going on, and people were just like, "Fuck this motherfucker, man."
Yeah, of course, man.
I don't think anyone's heard from him ever since. So.
And then, you know, if this was Smack, then you would be the Black Illusion Z, which is as big as a burn you can ever give someone.
You know, I regret saying that bar, man.
No, you don't.
I know, I really do. I really do regret saying that bar. It was good. It was funny, but the crowd went crazy, and I got great reaction, exactly what I wanted from it. But I shouldn't have said it, man. I feel bad. I apologize to Illusion Z for that.
Is he a friend, or?
Yeah, he is a friend, man. I don't even know why I said that. I'm an asshole for saying that.
A line that I really like. Yeah, I mean, everyone says.
I was just trying to say like shit, I don't know, relevant to that what was going on. I don't know. It was a dick move. I shouldn't have said. I told him this before in person.
I love name flips. I also love when people battle T-Rex and talk about dinosaurs, which you do.
Oh yeah, you got to.
According to fossils that they're digging, Tyrannosaurus has more in common with an ostrich or a pigeon. When he's ducking me, he's just following tradition, because the T-Rex eventually evolves into a chicken.
Oh man, it took me like 2 weeks to get that bar like written to the exact way that I want it to be, man. When that bar finally came to be, like, man, I stood out of my chair and was extremely excited. I was like, man, this is gonna go really well.
Yeah.
It took me a long, like, I had the information obviously about the evolution or whatever, and I had like a few different versions of it, just trying to put it together to where it rolled off the tongue the way I wanted it to, you know what I mean? And it took me like 2 weeks to be happy with it.
No, it works, man, and it gets a massive reaction. Absolutely enormous.
Yeah, and that's what I like, dude. I don't want to be one of these battle rappers that goes fucking 12 bars before he gets one reaction. Like, that's just whack to me, dude. Like, that's what sucks about battle rap. Everyone's trying to be scientists right now and shit, and it's boring as fuck, dude. Like, I'm trying to just beat the shit out of you in every single bar. Like, I want every bar to bring the fucking house down. Otherwise, it's just corny. Why? Like, why you want to spit a bunch of shit that's just gonna, like, sit there and do nothing?
And at this point as well, you grab the flat cap off T-Rex and chuck it into the crowd. He's disrespectful, man. It pisses me off.
In the face of the kid who caught that fucking hat. Oh, he was so happy, man.
that is a class. That is a piece of battle rap memorabilia.
Yeah, no, he caught the hat. The kid caught the hat, and he was super happy. He was like a little Asian kid. He was super happy.
And he just keeps saying that no one cares, no one understands, no one gets what you're saying. It's just kind of like,
shut up. Somebody reacted, but no one gets it, right?
Yeah, I don't. And then, you know, in his first, he did an impression of your mother. In his second, he does an impression of your pastor. It's just like, I don't know.
I think the impression of my mom in the beginning was some of the best shit that he had, even though it wasn't that great. Some of the best shit that he had. A lot of the other shit, impersonations of me, was terrible, corny.
And number 2 in terrible T-Rex round closers. Don't know who taking him out like a blind date.
Easy. What's the other one? In the shower with the tech or something like that? Fucking terrible Nurse Randy. What are you thinking, bro?
No, but actually, towards the end of Nurse Randy's third, there is the white guy, black eye. Is that segregation?
Oh yeah, segregation, bro. Shouts to segregation, man.
And
man, it's funny. Hey, he did have the line that I did really like though, and I gave him props when he said the Brady Bunch line. That impressed me. I like that.
It's a good line.
That was a fire bar. I really enjoyed that.
I really like your second as well. Why am I battling an Ewok with a Reebok pump on his head?
Oh yeah. He's a little guy. He's real little in person. He's real little in person.
A tiny dinosaur.
He just gets fatter. That's the only thing that he does. Like, he doesn't grow. He just gets fatter.
Like, I'm really not trying to disrespect the guy outwardly, but it's just like when he's commanding 40k for Summer Madness, it's like, what? He's not very good compared to some of the best URL guys.
Yeah, I mean, he has moments, man. He's had some very good moments, and he's been around for a long time. You know what I mean? You can't really take away his status, but yeah, he's got a lot of whack shit.
Battle rap is too nostalgic for my liking. Like, you know.
Yeah, he got a lot of shit that's trash, bro. Don't get me wrong. He's a lot of his strengths are the build-ups on his flow. You know what I'm saying? He's got a really good flow at times. Not always, but at times his flow can be good, and a lot of times that build-up, you know what I mean, can hit hard even if he doesn't say something crazy.
And you reveal he's a male nurse. Only time he caught a body was when a patient fainted in the hospital lobby.
Oh yeah.
All that time in the hospital, didn't you stop you from getting that baby cock removed?
I had to do the ear jokes, man. It sucks that Math kind of played it out before I got to battle him, but it's like, that's my shit. I had to say something. You know what I mean? Math stole that whole angle from me. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's my shit. Whether or not it had been done before or whatever, like, I had to still do it. Like, I'm not going to battle T-Rex and not mention his ear. That's my shit. You know what I mean? I invented that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's had that shit his whole life on his ear, and I'm the only motherfucker to bring it up first.
Yeah, so. I absolutely love the twist you do on it at the end of the second as well, where you compare the thing on his ear to like Murder Mook and their relationship and having someone attached to him, and it's well done, man. Thank
you, man. I really like to make complex angles, man, but still to where any idiot can understand it. You know what I mean? That's important. Being able to make things simple.
And this was another, just to conclude, this was another huge event, right? I mean, it seemed like Grindr could do no wrong.
Nuts, dude. It was nuts. It was kind of crazy. It was a different experience for me because I didn't get to enjoy it as much because I was focusing on my performance. So I didn't get to take in the whole event like as a fan the way that I normally like to. But it was crazy, man. It was huge. I was kind of in and out there because they wanted me, because the whole thing was around me and Rex. So they wanted me to show up and do like fan stuff and things like that. But, I had a hotel that was like really close to the event. So I would walk over, kick it with some fans, take some pictures, check in, walk back to my hotel and practice more. You know what I mean? Or take a nap or something and then go back and, kick it a little bit more and go. I was in and out trying to practice. I take it very, very serious, man. So I fucking, I walked over. When we did the battle, I fucking walked over by myself and I was fucking ready.
And, at the end of the battle, you closed by basically talking about kind of smack. And was this ever something that was going to come into fruition at this era, you being on URL?
Oh yeah, lots of times, man. Like immediately following my Arsonal battle, Norbs from Smack, and they had me on the, on the 3-way with everybody on Smack. They was some of the very first people to ever reach out to me. So they wanted me on Smack, immediately. But it didn't end up working out. I felt they didn't respect me. I felt like I beat their best people, and they offered me shit. And I feel like that's what they always try to do to people, especially coming from grind time. They try to make jump through hoops and like battle some like lame ass people, and I just didn't want to do it. And I told them that I just didn't want to do it. And they weren't trying to offer me anybody. They weren't even, you know what I mean? There was a point when they tried to like give me Averb, but then they ended up giving Averb to Charlie Clips. And then another time when, or not Charlie Clips, they gave me to somebody else. I don't remember. There was a time I was supposed to battle Midwest Miles at a Detroit event, and they fucked both of us over out of it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what spawned me and Beasley not being cool. And we haven't spoken in several years. So, and not really have any desire to do anything with them. But there were times when we were going to set up battles and they were highly interested, but I just felt like they didn't respect me. I felt like the world's most respected battle league should have a little more fucking respect. So it was just like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna battle Arsonal, Hollow, and T-Rex and then go battle fucking Shotgun Shook. Like, especially at that time, who was fucking absolutely nobody. You know what I mean? I felt it was disrespectful and I didn't want to do it. It didn't inspire me.
Interesting that they offered you him though, and what he went on to do.
They offered me X Factor, like shit like that. Like just people that I just wasn't. Shit I wasn't trying to battle, shit that I didn't feel was on the level of the competition that I've been facing. So I didn't want to do it. And then, you know, when we finally came to an agreement, I ran into Beasley in Detroit, but shortly before I battled Roan, and you know, we had agreed that, you know, they were doing that Detroit event. I think that's where Calico and Arsonal had battled, and we had agreed that me and Midwest Miles was going to be on that event. And that was going to be my debut on Smack, and I was going to go to Detroit and battle Miles. And they ended up, like, it was crazy. They were super pumped about it. And then, like, they were calling me, and, like, I would call them, and they kept telling me that, like, they had to find something out about the venue or some shit. And then, like, the fucking, like, next day, they put out a trailer, and me and Miles wasn't on it. And we were just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Miles don't say nothing because all Miles has in battle rap is smack, so he don't want to disrespect them no matter what they did to him. But I believe he feels the exact same way as me, but he won't ever say it or admit it. I'm the only one who spoke up. He didn't have my back or nothing when I said it, but we both got fucked out of that battle. So after that, you know what I mean, just the way they all responded to it, and I just wasn't feeling them, and I'll probably never work with them again. So it is what it is, but it just motivated me to do more, because I'm one of the few people that was able to get millions and millions of views and change my life without ever having to be on Smack. A lot of rappers like these Sue Surfs and all these motherfuckers, like, they have to be on Smack or they have nothing. So if, you know what I mean, I'm able to fucking do it on my own or whatever league, you know what I'm saying? Even when I fucking choke and do terrible and lose, we're fucking about to hit 1 million views someday, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't need that Smack shit. So it's whatever. It never bothered me.
And you're not a fan of Sue Surf?
Nah, not at all. He's terrible. Terrible person and a terrible MC. He makes pretty tight music though. I'll give him that. I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? I'll tell you like it is. Right. But I don't like him in person, no.
Right. So we push on from T-Rex, and this very much marks your, you know, as you said, your expansion, definitely overseas as well, teaming up with Dizaster for 3 battles in a row. Was this an obvious partnership? Have you been friends for a long time?
Yeah. We've been friends since, like, I think I first started talking to Diz maybe in like 2005 or 2004 or something like that, 2006, one of them years. You know, especially in the early grind time days, it was obvious that we were fucking close homeboys, you know what I mean? And it was like, we did a lot of freestyle videos together and blogs and stuff like that. People knew that we were homies, you know? So when we had the chance to do some 2-on-2, I mean, when we had the chance to do like a tour overseas and stuff, you know, it wasn't battles that like our fans were like super looking for us to do, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't something that I wanted to, like, something like I have a serious like one-on-one, you know what I mean? My fans are pissed at me, you know what I mean? I just battled like Hollow or something like that, you know what I mean? So how could we do it in a way where it'd be like an exhibition and it'll be hella fun, and you know what I mean? And we decided on doing 2-on-2s like that. And we were supposed to do more dates too. We were supposed to do all in the same run. I'm I wish it happened because the places would have been cool to go to, but I'm kind of glad it didn't happen because how fucking difficult it was doing what we did. But we were supposed to do Australia and Amsterdam as well, and both of those kind of fell out at the last minute. We were going to battle 360 and Justice, and we were going to battle who the fuck were we going to battle in Amsterdam? The dude, fuck, I feel like an asshole for calling him this, but the guy that has one arm, I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Ahab.
Yeah, him. We're going to battle him and somebody else, and those battles didn't pan out.
So just to clarify, you this is on YouTube. The upload schedule goes: you and Dizaster versus Shazam and Nils and Skills, then versus Tenchoo and Lego, then versus Arkaic and Oshea.
Yeah. But it happened.
Were those all in a few days?
Man, it was all in the span. Sorry, it was all in the span of. It was all in the span of like 10 days.
Jesus.
It was one of the most difficult battle rap experiences of my life, man. But it was one of the coolest. It really tested our limits and showed that we really were pretty fucking good at this shit. And, we had never teamed up before, ever. You know what I mean? And Diz, he's one of those guys that, he just likes to rap. You know what I mean? He's not necessarily meant for 2-on-2s, you know what I mean? He's his own thing himself. He can rap for a really long time, you know what I mean? He could do every battle unlimited, you know what I mean? So, and we were so opposite in our writing technique, so we had to kind of learn everything, you know what I mean? It was a real learning experience from the very beginning. We had to tap into each other's style of writing, you know what I mean? Me and Diz write very differently, so at some points I had to write how he writes in his world, and sometimes he had to come to my world. You know what I mean? My world is very structured, and I know how many bars is in this verse, and Diz is just crazy. You know what I mean? Whichever, he's got 500 bars in his head, whichever one's popping his head at that moment, plus whatever few freestyle rebuttals he was going to throw in the middle of that shit. Like, his brain is wide open to do whatever. It's open and adaptable at any second. And that's not something that I was used to doing. That's not how I approached written battles. So I'm very formatted and rehearsed and ready to go on these bars, you know? So we had to find our own common ground and do a little bit of each other's shit, you know what I mean? In each other alternate worlds. So it was really crazy, man. We had to write 3 unlimited time battles, bro. It was nuts.
Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, is it fair to say Dizaster's one of the most talented ever to do it?
He's the best. He's the fucking best. Obviously, he's the fucking best, man. He's my favorite battle rapper, period. Definitely.
And like you say, you write in 3 unlimited. I mean, what is the writing structure? Do you know what's in each round for word? Is it freestyle? Is it topic based?
That whole thing was just so much insanity of jet lag and last minute preparation and freestyle and running on fucking fumes, man, running on vapor. You know what I'm saying? Like, by the Tenchoo and Legu battle, like, I'm visibly running out of gas. It's one of my worst performances, in my opinion. It's a classic battle, but in the grand scheme of like my catalog, it's one of my very worst performances. Because I can tell, I don't know who else could tell, but I'm clearly running out of gas, and Diz is fucking having his second wind, which is good because I fucking, went really hard on the fucking Swedish battle and stuff. You know what I mean? So it really balanced out. You know what I mean? I started where he wasn't all the way ready, and he finished when I was kind of gassing out. You know what I mean? So it was a really good balance of each other. So
it's what a team's for, right? I mean,
Oh, dude, it was crazy, man. Even though we were so different, we were still able to adapt to a lot of things, and it really pushed to my limits and let me know what I was really capable of. Like, I knew I was capable of a lot, but like, this pushed us, man. With these guys that we battled were the best in their respective country and scene. You know what I mean? All 3 of those battles, Tenchoo and Lego, were the fucking 2-on-2 tag team champions that don't flop at the time. Fucking Shazam and Nils, like, they make livings off music. Like, Shazam lives his life just freestyling and makes money off that. He's like the Supernatural of fucking Norway. You know what I mean? These guys were established people, dude. Obviously, Oshea and Arkaic, vets in the UK as well. So these were no slouches that we took on. And the fact that we decided to do every battle unlimited like morons. But, you know, it kind of like we vaguely wrote for like a week apart, like for the Swedish battle. Wrote for like a week and a half separate. Like we weren't, you know, he lives in LA. That's 300 miles from me. Mm-hmm. So it's not like I could just hop, skip, and a jump. So we were preparing like light bars for like a week or something. And when we got on the plane to Sweden, when we finally got, you know, seen each other and we got on the plane to Sweden, we wrote all the bars on the plane to Sweden for Arkaic and Oshea. We wrote like fucking 200 bars.
Wow.
And so much shit. We just had so much, dude. And
so what, were you and Diz just sitting there with pens and paper?
Oh my God, just going in, bro. We wrote so much shit for those guys on that plane for 8 hours straight, dude. And
Jesus Christ, do you have those papers?
Oh, dude, I have the file on this very laptop that I'm talking from, bro. Like, there's so many bars that we didn't even use, and it's crazy. I'll get to that battle. That's a whole other world, man.
And going over to base mentality, like, how was the mentality of the league? How did it differ?
Oh, dude, one of the best treatment out of any league that I've ever had. You know what I mean? The business was perfectly on point. They even gave us more money than we agreed on. You know what I mean? And they didn't care. They were just like, take some extra, you know, spending money or whatever. You want to go with this and that. You know what I mean? So it was just so good. Everything was so nice. We were in a beautiful hotel, beautiful experience. Like, you know what I mean? I'm talking like, I could fucking, you know, it would be like 5 o'clock in the morning in Sweden, but we're jet lagged, so we're up. And I can open the fucking, you know, the balcony door of my hotel and just watch snowflakes fall in the city of Sweden, in the middle of the city. Like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. And so the treatment was excellent, bro. It was really good, man. We were just, because this type of thing wasn't happening. Like, not too many people were traveling. Like, Dirtbag Dan really set it off with the traveling and shit, going around. But me and Diz made it really big. Because we were, you know, us together was a huge thing coming to a fucking city. So it was really surreal to go to the event and see a line wrapped around the block in another country that English ain't even the fucking, you know, first language.
Wow.
And the shit, you know, it was really surreal, man. And we signed a lot of autographs and people were really excited, man. And it was crazy. It was rough adjusting to the jet lag. I think we were there for like, man, I don't know, almost 5 days to a week right before the battle. So we could kind of adjust to the time a little bit. And we had to finish writing. Like, I think we wrote those bars on the plane for Arkaic and Oshea. And when we landed in Sweden, turned off the laptop, never looked at them again. And we got to Sweden and we pretty much like finished up our shit over the last like 3-4 days that we were over there. We wrote finished the rest of our bars for, you know, the Swedish battle. And we do the battle in Sweden. And, you know, we're doing TV shows and all type of shit out there. They got posters of us all over Sweden, bro. Everywhere we go, we fucking see pictures of us, dude. And we get out there and we do the battle. And the fucking next day, early in the morning, we're on a flight to England and we have to battle Arkaic and Oshea that day. Like the very next day, back to back. And we hadn't even looked at our bars for like a week since we wrote them on the plane. You know what I mean? We had like 200 bars for them. And basically our plan was, after we do the Shazam and Nils battle, we're going to sleep, get a good night's rest, and write and, you know, and format our rounds for Arkaic and Oshea on the flight from Sweden to England. But what really happened was we got on the flight to England and we both just fell the fuck to sleep. And we woke up in England and we got a battle in like a handful of hours. And as soon as we get to England, I don't have the right adapter for my fucking laptop. I can't even plug the shit in. It's like all our bars are on this thing. So we had to spend an extra like couple hours like looking for this shit and walking around. You know, we were in Manchester. I'd never been there before. So I had to go find all this shit. It was like early in the morning. You know what I mean? A lot of these stores weren't even open yet. You know what I'm saying? We're just like, fuck. So we do all that. And we do the fucking, we get the laptop running. And it's all or nothing, man. We have very little time before we have to be battling. And we have enough bars to fucking battle these guys like 8 times, we don't have anything rehearsed, nothing in order as a round. So we just began practicing as much as we could, just putting it in order as fast as we could. You know what I mean? We had a million great bars. You know what I mean? It was all we did, just had to pick and choose them, you know? And we got 2 rounds memorized. Like fucking, we were cool. We got 2 rounds memorized. Got plenty of bars to do a 3rd round, but we just don't have nothing formatted. You know, no order, nothing memorized or rehearsed or anything. And this is about the time when like we have to leave. Like we have to fucking be there. So we didn't have a 3rd round at all.
He said we should thank him for the views we about to get. Faggot, your last battle had 13,000 hits. Really? Anyways, you shouldn't fucking touch the mic. Let me reiterate. He said he'll fuck him twice. Listen.
We showed up to the battle, and we were both just dead tired, man. Just flew from Sweden, the worst morning ever. It's like raining and shit. Like, it's just like, man, this is tough, dude. I was like, if I was just telling Diz, yo, if I make it past today, I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean? We just got to get over today. We have to make it through this fucking like it's fucking Arkaic. How bad could it be? Come on, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna kill this motherfucker, dude. Come on, you know what I mean? Our whole game plan was kill Arkaic and just try to keep up with Oshea's jokes, because he's just we know he's gonna clown the fuck out of us anyway. It doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? We're just like, let's just keep up with him because we like him anyway. You know what I mean? We're big fans of Oshea, so we didn't really like go super hard on him. But Arkaic, we wanted to make a point that we wanted to hurt it. So I just remember doing the battle. The first 2 rounds went well, man. It was cool. It was well received. It was fun. It was one of the funnest battles I ever had because there was that sense of mystery that we don't know what's going to happen. And finally, by about the 3rd round, and they're like, yo, Dizaster and Okwerdz is on you. I just remember looking at Diz, and we look at each other and just kind of had this funny smile, like we don't really know, like, what the fuck we're going to say right now. And, you know, Diz, you know, luckily Diz being the rebuttal guy, he just started off with a couple rebuttals or whatever. And after that, it was funny how it worked because we had so many bars, you know, nothing was, you know, rehearsed. But as he would say, you know, he freestyled a little bit more like after, you know, and he remembered a few of the bars that we had wrote, you know what I mean? He would say a few bars, but like when he would be on a topic, a specific topic, like if he would say like a fat joke or a fucking thief joke because he's a scouser or whatever, when he would say a thief joke, it would like unlock all the thief jokes in my head, and I would just follow up with all the rest of them. I would just remember all the rest of the bars, and then I would say something about him being fat, and then Diz start saying all the fat jokes, you know what I mean? It just like started coming to us, and with a bunch of like freestyles in between, it ended up being like our longest round or whatever, and we were so pumped up and like in the moment, like when they ended that fucking battle because the cameras ran out because it was just so fucking long. We came there with no 3rd round, and we just gave our whole fucking heart to that shit with nothing. You know what I mean? I had no energy. Like my fucking body was gone, bro. Like I almost wanted to collapse after it was over. You know what I mean? We did everything, bro. And when they turned the cameras off, we were still just so hype in the moment. I had no bars left. Like we didn't know what the fuck we were saying, but I was just still so pumped. I was just like, we could just keep going outside. And I remember Oshea looking right back at me, like fucking shaking his head, like, let's go. We're all just like, let's go. You know what I mean? And then they stopped it because they had to finish the event and all that. We didn't end up doing that. But like, I was pumped, dude. Diz was pumped. You know, and 5 minutes later, Dizaster battled Shoddy Horror.
Yeah,
I feel bad for that guy. That whole trip, dude. None of us had ever heard of Shoddy Horror. And it's funny, man. Shoddy Horror is like who booked our hotels and was like booking the whole battles. And we never knew the whole time that that's who Diz was battling. That he was battling the guy that fucking brought us out there. And it was tripping us out. Like we were just, as we're preparing for this and we're just running out of steam in general, I was just telling Diz like, yo, you know you're gonna lose. We just always would joke about it, you know, leading up to like, yo, you know you're about to lose that Shoddy Horror battle though, right? Because we just ain't got no time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to win that battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even know this guy. All we heard was, like, a couple of his, like, songs. And we're like, yo, he can rap. Like, he's pretty fucking good, dude. He's probably going to get you. Because we're just busy doing everything else. And, you know, it's debatable on camera. So, dope.
Yeah, no, and you were saying how pumped you were, how pumped you were in this battle, and it really does show.
It's real shit. One of my favorite battles that I've ever been involved in, and it's one of my most slept on battles that I've ever done because I think like my quality was bad or something like that. Like, but if you watch that battle, it really shows our heart and determination, man. We had nothing in the third round, bro, and we really fucking gave it our all, dude. It was a dope experience. I'm glad we did it because the fans in Manchester were fucking amazing, dude. Like, I had just made up. Put him in a box and say easy, like little tagline or whatever, like the night before in Sweden, and the whole crowd said it by my intro the next day. I was blown away, man. It was cool.
Wow. And you kick it off by saying that you've made lots of sacrifices to be here. You had to sit on 4 planes with a Dizaster to be here, which is pretty funny. Diz freestyles.
I had to bring that up, bro. Being on planes with Diz, I was like, oh, dude, I got to go in on you.
Yeah, and then there's some really nice interaction between both of you when you go in on sort of, the prison Arkaic was in, had an automated garage door with a carport.
Things, dude. You could just see... there's even more shit too that we didn't say. Like we were going on that fucking scheme, just riding back and forth and just laughing hella hard. Like when we was writing that shit, bro. Just thinking of everything that this fool has in his beautiful ass prison.
Yeah,
and, you could just tell Arkaic like how he his level just changes once we mention that shit. His whole demeanor is just shook the whole rest of the. And he did tell us he did forget all his bars, man. He was freestyling like the whole battle.
Yeah, there's no locked doors in his prison, but motherfuckers are being killed over the top score on Mario Kart 4.
Hard scores and all that shit. Oh yeah, says bonjour and all that.
Yeah. No, that's really funny. We Diz in the way to like.
Diz says voices whenever we need like a funny voice. Like we make sure that Diz say that line, even if I wrote it. You know what I mean? I'll be like, yo, it's better if you say it though. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're able to do too. You know what I mean? Like. It's better if you say it because I know you can do this voice better than I can. You know what I mean? Like, so it's part of being a team. It's part of being a team. I think in a 2-on-2 battle, you're allowed to write for each other a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it's a team effort. You're putting your shit together and writing the best shit. That's the point. You know what I mean? So we're able to do that. Like if I have a line that'll go better if Diz say it, then Diz say it. And vice versa. He has shit that I would say. Is because it's better coming from a person that looks like me.
Yeah. And like coming into the second round, you kind of clown very smartly on Arkaic because, it's a shame. I mean, Arkaic's been on the show. Oshea's been on the show actually as well. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Oshea, that's the one I watched, man. And before we even say anything else, I just want to say, like, that battle too, like, that's one of Oshea's best.
Oh, yeah.
Best mode. He fucking annihilated us, bro. He was fucking really impressive, dude. Really impressive. He's one of my favorite battlers of all time, dude.
I mean, I just want to ask you more generally, like before coming out to the UK, I know it's just grind time, but you did battle Tenchoo and Lego and Don't Flop. Like, were you a Don't Flop fan, aware of Don't Flop? Or?
Oh yeah, of course, man. I'm aware of everything, dude. I've been watching UK battle rap before they started Don't Flop. You know what I mean? Listening to UK hip hop when I was in high school. You know what I mean? And I'm getting old, so.
Who did you listen to, man?
I like Jest and stuff like that.
Oh, I love Jest, man.
Long time ago, man, when I was a kid. And, like I said, battle rap has a rich history with the UK. So it's like I've been here from the beginning. So from the very moment it started, I've seen it. You know what I mean? So I'm very, very well versed in the UK scene. You know what I mean? And I got a lot of fucking favorites out there. Like I said, O'Shea's my favorite, though. He's the best.
Yeah, I guess he's just so unique, isn't he?
He's the best. He's the absolute best, bro. He's the best. Yeah. He's one of my favorite battlers of all time, dude.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah. I mean, he needs to come out to the US or Canada again, doesn't he?
I've been trying to tell people we need to get him a bunker battle, man. He needs to come out to the bunker and just battle Fredo or some shit, man. I don't know. Some dope like that, man. I would watch Oshea like battle like a
Tony Madness.
Yeah, that'd be crazy too. I'll watch. You know what I mean? I'll watch Oshea battle a fucking ball of aluminum foil. I don't care, bro. Like, He's a beast, bro. It doesn't matter.
Set it up, avocado. Set it up.
It was an honor to battle him, dude. Like when we were battling people in the UK, we wanted to battle the best. I mean, we didn't really feel that way about Arkaic, but he does have legendary status out there, so it's cool. We wanted to give Oshea the shot, you know what I mean? Because we really felt strongly about him.
Oh, there's no doubt Oshea is a living legend in battle rap.
There was nobody out there, and Arkaic was, you know, I like to battle people that I don't like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that made it just easier for me. With Shazam and Nils, it was very hard because we had never heard them rap in English. We had nothing to base anything off, what they rap about, what their style is like, nothing. We just had to write raps and hope they were better. And we thought that they were going to fucking suck, and they ended up being amazing. Fucking amazing. Like, they really gave us a run for our money, man, but it really made us feel good because we felt like we won all 3 battles even in the 10-day span, and how underprepared we were. I still feel like even not at 100%, we were still able to win against some of the best in the world, so I'm still content with it. The Tenchoo and Lego battle, my worst one out of the whole thing, I think. But it's still a classic that everybody brings up to me, man. Like, I was in Hollywood about a year ago, walking down Hollywood looking for spots to like shoot a video at, and some people from the UK stopped me, said they were in LA on vacation, and they were big fans, and they were just talking about how they love the Tenchoo and Lego battle, and I need to come back to Don't Flop and all this type of stuff. And like, people always bring up that battle to me, even though it's one of my worst ones. I don't even, you know what I mean? I understand it's a classic, but just on my own personal behalf, like towards like the 3rd round, I just don't really care for it. But it's a classic battle overall, minus that.
I mean, the fact that it was done in such a short span of time with the other 2 as well is incredible.
Yeah, we had about after we battled Arkaic and Oshea, we had like, I feel like 5 days or something like that. You know, and in that time, you know, we had to travel from Manchester to London as well. So we stayed in Manchester, I think, for a little while. It's funny hanging out with Diz during this tour because he was practicing his accents for every battler that we were battling because, you know, he was going to do an impersonation of all of them. So, like, we would walk into a store. I'm not very good at accents, so I would just be quiet. Yeah. But we would walk into stores or, like, catch cabs and stuff like that. And, you know, he'd be like, okay, I'm Oshea today. And we would just get in the cab and he would just, you know, talk to someone like he's Oshea. And, you know what I mean? Would just make believe like he was from there, and people fell for it every time. And then when we get out of the car, he'll switch to American, be like, thank you. So it's funny, like being with him all week. Like today, he's talking like Oshea all day. Tomorrow, he's Lego. You know what I mean? Like it was just really funny to like watch him do all that, man.
Yeah, he's a charismatic as fuck guy. Like he is an absolute legend.
It means just walking talent, bro.
Yeah. It's so cool. You guys have these 3 classics together. It's great.
Yeah, man. It was really big for the sport because, you know, like I said, no one had made a huge deal off the battling overseas thing like that, the way like me and Diz partnering up did. And it really helped Don't Flop in a way, get a lot of attention. It really begun and built the scene in fucking Sweden as far as the Base Mentality was one of their first big events, you know? So it may not have been like what my American fans like really wanted me to do the most, but like it expanded me in so many different ways on like a global level that like I'm so glad that I did, you know what I mean, and help these other scenes to grow and get bigger.
Yeah, it's incredible work, man, and you know it's been incredible work for years now, going from the sort of early Scribble origins to the grind time establishing to international. Is it fair to say that many people consider Roan on grind time your kind of first real misstep?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my entire time that I've been battling, I feel like I've officially lost. Like, there's debatables, there's like, you know what I mean? I technically lost by the judges, but everybody thinks I won. There's all those different things aside. There's like 3 times in my life where I felt like I was beat very clearly. You know what I mean? And that's one. And it's not bad for being around for, you know, since the late 90s. It's really not bad to have only lost 3 battles, like to where I feel these are the battles I've lost. And 2 of the battles aren't even important today, so it doesn't even matter. You know, it's only one of them that anybody even thinks about. So it's really not even that big of a deal.
And how did you lose it?
What do you mean? Which one?
Battle.
Dude, there's a lot of things, man. Just he didn't deserve to battle me. First of all, first and foremost, it was a stupid battle to take. So, I did it as a favor to several things. Grind time was like holding on by a fucking, not even a life raft, like one of those like ring-looking life ones. You know what I mean? They're like, please, Okwerdz, just do this round battle, please. You know what I mean? Like, and once Poison Pen asks you to do something, you fucking do it. Like that's the best person in battle rap, in my opinion. So I did it really for him more than anything. I didn't think he at all deserved to battle me, because it was just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of my material at the time really relied on personal stuff that people know about the other person and stuff. And I found it challenging to write about Rome because he was boring as fuck and nobody really knew nothing about him. It was just like none of that Sandusky shit had even happened. Like there's nothing. He was nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it was it was my mistake to take the battle in the first place. I would say that was just dumb in general. But I did it for a good cause. You know what I'm saying? I got paid like whatever for the time. You know what I mean? But I did it basically for that reason. And it was challenging for me to prepare for him, where, I don't have, there's not much history about him, whereas he has just a plethora of unlimited things to say about him. Plus, it was my first time coming to New York. It was just really dumb, you know what I mean? But sometimes, when you do something for somebody, sometimes it can be dumb, you know what I mean? That's life.
Yeah, of course, man. And getting into the final battle, we'll talk about the real deal battle. In the opening interview, which is kind of classic 2012 King of the Dot blackout, when they did all the interviews, I love that sort of shit. You open up by saying battling is very short term. They can love you and then you're gone. It's not like being an artist where, you do a bad song, but they think, oh, his best songs were, but his old songs were still great. Is this how you felt after the Rome thing, reflecting back?
Yeah, it really is like that. But, it's a lot of things that are high, quick attention. You know what I mean? Like what I've learned is things that get quick attention can be gone quick. But things that take longer to achieve have a much longer impact. Like making music is a much slower grind. It's much more difficult. You don't get nearly as much attention if I was to do a rap battle. You know what I mean? Like if I was to drop a music video tomorrow, it's not going to get 1 million views probably, unless it's like absolutely like crazy. You know what I mean? We're going to, get something cool, but it's not going to be like if I did a battle tomorrow, that should be crazy. You know what I mean? It's a lot slower grind, but it's very personally fulfilling to make those moves, though. You know what I'm saying? So battle rap is very quick, dude. It's very quick. I see people get turned on all day. I've been blessed to still be mentioned as much as I am, even though I ain't battled in fucking almost 5 fucking years. They still just keep going. I'm still getting offers every year, heavy offers every year. So it's like it hasn't died down on that at all. So I feel good about it, but I've seen many people fall off really fast after something like that, and it's all how you manage yourself after, man. That's really what it amounts to.
I'm surprised this is your King of the Dot debut so late.
I know, that's another terrible decision that I made.
You are so fucking boring, that's why you never get guap. You could battle Jay-Z in Flip Top, and you'd still make that shit flop.
Even though I feel like I won the battle, it was just another one of those like Roan where it was like I shouldn't have did this. This is stupid, you know what I mean? Right. But it is what it is. Like it was a time where I just had my biggest loss ever in rap battle, and I felt like I owed somebody something. You know what I mean? I felt like, and Diz called me too. He was like, bro, if you just body Real Deal, like no one's gonna give a fuck about the Rome battle. You know what I mean? I was like, he was kind of like hyping me up a little bit. You know what I mean? And a few Organic had called me, and I don't know, people asked for it like here and there, like in the past, but it was never something like, at the time I looked at as Real Deal as like someone who was like, he was coming up after us. He really looked up to like people like the Saurus and myself and stuff like that. So for him to like call me out in any kind of way just made me feel weird. I was like, I don't even really battle you. Like, this is strange. But I did this shit anyway. They talked me into it because I was in a position where I felt like I owed somebody something. I was like, fuck it, I'll just do what these motherfuckers want, just because, you know what I mean? I feel bad. I fucked up, you know what I mean? So I did that, and then, I learned right there I should only just do shit that I'm passionate about, you know what I mean? I felt like the Real Deal battle was really dope, and I really liked my material, and I felt like it was original shit that nobody ever fucking brings up to Real Deal. It was done in a really clever way. I feel like the crowd just wasn't connecting with me, wasn't really fucking with me like that. Like, I felt like the real heavyweight lines I had weren't hitting hard, but when I would say something like random in general, the crowd would go crazy. I'd just be like, really? And it was just really weird, you know what I mean? It's kind of why I had to throw in that fucking Nick Diaz bar at the end, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck shit, bro.
Yeah.
That's actually the first bar that I wrote of the whole battle. It was the first thing that came to my mind when I got that. I was like, I'm gonna have a Nick Diaz bar.
We'll get to that bar, but yeah, I only watched this battle very recently for this episode. I have to say, I watched most of this battle beforehand, but I'd always known.
Not my greatest word or real.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, yeah, I'd always known. That it was regarded as sort of.
It's funny. It just proves my point that it was a stupid battle. Whenever I told a fan that it was a stupid idea for me and Real Deal to battle, now we did it. Now you know. Like, see. I told you.
I love the Castlevania 3, the only time Trevor had a whip.
Yeah. Also slept on, but you know what? I did make eye contact with one kid in the crowd when I said it who lost his shit as I was saying. I was like, yes, at least somebody gets this shit. Because sometimes you're skeptical, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're going to get this. And then sometimes you say, like, man, I just got to throw this one in for me. Fuck if they get it. You know what I mean? So it just depends. And sometimes they get the shit, like, fools react to shit you don't even expect, and then they're silent for the shit that you thought was going to be crazy. You just never really know. In Canada, I don't know, I didn't read the crowd well. I felt like my shit was slept on. I still felt like it was fire. We both kind of didn't do our very, very best shit, but it was not a very inspiring opponent. For me, it's like to go from battling who I battled to battle that person, it doesn't make me excited, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But we did what we did, and it was fun. It was dope.
I thought the teach angles in the second were good.
Yeah, that's fire. And
so we know you have skeletons in the closet.
Oh yeah, fucking Real Deal lost his wallet while traveling. He lost it at the airport or something. He was all fucking pissed off that day, and I had lost my luggage getting into Canada, so I was all pissed off that day. I had nothing but sweatpants until like the day right before the battle. I thought I was gonna have to battle and go shopping and shit. All my gear was gone. Canada always gives me a hard time when I try to go over there, man. But we made it. That's why you see in the interview in the beginning, I'm all in sweatpants and shit.
Yeah, so, that's right. Yeah, you are actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost my bags.
And like, I don't know, some of the comments from this battle are saying like this is the nail in your coffin. I don't really see it. It's quite even.
No, it's funny, man. I've heard like the Hollow battle. It's one of the more like debatable ones where you could go either way, and it's like I've literally heard every single opinion on that battle that you could possibly hear, bro. I've heard I got 3-0'd. I heard he got 3-0'd. I heard we both sucked. I heard I got it 2-1. I heard he got it 2-1. Like, I've heard it all, bro. Like, it's like, you gotta understand how many conversations I've had about this battle in my life, bro. Like, I've heard everything. And and it's just, it's just one of those guys, dude. Like, around that time, there was a very negative, like, momentum coming off of the Rome battle where, like, even if, like, let's say, like, after the Rome battle, let's say I put out a blog that says, yo, I just invented the cure for cancer and I'm giving it away for free to everybody. At that time, right after I lost to Rome, all the comments would just say, fuck you, you're a bitch, you lost to Rome. That's just the way the internet works, you know what I mean? Not one person would say, oh, that's very nice of you that you invented the cure for cancer and are giving it away for free. Like, that's just how the fucking internet works, And around that time, there was just a negative, like, theme around me just because I took the Real Deal battle, like, pretty close after the Rome one, within a few months or something like that.
And then was that it? I mean, Because you haven't really seen. Have you ever battled off cam since, or are you just done with it?
Battled 360 after that, and had one of my greatest performances of all time.
That's right. And was that your bowing out?
That was the last one that I did. Wasn't too bad. I just 3-0'd a platinum artist. It went well. It went well. Like, again, it was like a situation in Sweden or the UK, like with me and Diz. It was like that in Australia. It was big. Like, you got to understand, 360 is the highest selling solo rap artist in the entire country, bro.
Wow.
And I battled him right when he went triple platinum. You know what I mean? Our battle sold out in less than a day. And it was people, all 360 fans. Like, you don't even understand. Like, it was a big fucking deal, and I still, like, I'm getting tours to Australia because of it. You know what I mean? And it's for music shit, just because I beat him in a rap battle. So it was a big deal on that part. Although, you know, to an American fan or something, it's not really, you know, who they want me to fucking battle or whatever. I understand that. That's fine. But yes, though. Yeah, it was big. It was big. I mean, even you know, to Americans, like, why are you battling 360? Like, it was a big moment. He asked to battle me at the time, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, you just went triple platinum. I'm all over it.
Yeah, his song Boys Like You went 4 times platinum.
Yeah, bro. He's killing it. So, you know, it was really just a move. And I've been friends with 360 for so many years, like 10 years. And I think when I was at the airport, like coming home from Canada after battling Real Deal, I got the email with them asking, they say 360 wants to battle me. And I was like, really? That's odd. Like, it's not someone that I ever thought about battling, but he just went platinum and he's hella big right now. And I know him very well. I know the Australian scene very well. So I was like, all right. The money was cool. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Mm-hmm. It ended up being one of my best performances. I think it's one of my best performances of all time. It's highly slept on because, you know, it was Taylor written for the Australian scene, very specific things that I wrote. So it doesn't translate all the way to like American fans. But even so, man, it's also blocked from America. You can only watch it from certain countries on YouTube. So even all that said, we're still at almost 500,000 views. So really not mad at it, man. The outcome was cool. 360 obviously never shared it. If he shared it, we probably would have been at 1 million or some shit. But
yeah, that's annoying. That's annoying. And I was just on 360's Wikipedia, and his latest album, for any Don't Flop fans, has Lunar Sea.
Yeah, it does.
Which is
I think they got a music video for that, and I think he brought him to Australia to do some shows with him too, even in the past.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very cool. That's very cool. So, following on from the 360, is there any plans? I mean, I'd love to see you at a bunker or something, man.
Hey, you know, I've been getting a lot of offers, man. A lot of offers. I almost battled. What was that? Last year or the year before, when Diz battled Jonai. It's give me to be the secret battle. I don't know if you remember when they did one of the bunker events when Il Mac and Carter Deems was like a secret battle or something that wasn't on the flyer, and they did it. You know what I mean? It was planned in secret the whole time too, and they wanted me to be a secret battle versus somebody, and it was actually a really dope opponent that I felt was on my caliber and never been brought to my attention before, and it was somebody that is up to par with the caliber of the people that I've been battling, and is one of the best people in the world right now. And I said yes, but the thing was, this person was only available to do one round because they had a busy month, and I had to turn it down because I just thought it'd be dumb to come back and only do one round. It was just kind of stupid. So I turned it down. But, you know, there's a couple talks, a couple things people have been bringing up to me, some interesting ideas. People got a lot of much more money now. So things are interesting, man. I can't really say that I haven't thought about it. You know what I mean? I think what makes me think about it more than anything is just seeing how battle rap is getting, and when I'm unhappy about certain things in the scene, how they're going. That kind of activates me to get the itch again, more so than some people who just do it for like a payday or something like that. Like, for me, I'm very passionate about the scene, so, you know, when I see times like this, like, you know, when everybody just sounds the same and it's getting very boring, you know what I mean? It's either like they're trying to be like, you know, SONS or they're a white guy battling a smack rapper. That seems to be like the whole battle rap scene. And it's just like, it's getting boring, man. And those are the type of things that motivate me, that make me think about it more than anything, just as an MC.
And is there anyone who's came along recently that, you know, you think, oh, they're actually quite good?
Man, you know who's became like one of my favorite battle rappers right now, man, recently is E-Ness. I've been watching the shit out of E-Ness. That motherfucker has been cooking, bro. He's one of my favorites right now. My favorites right now, like for real.
I think he just got announced about B Magic of King of the Dance. So
really, when? Just now?
Literally today.
Wow, that is, whoa, excuse me for a second. Whoa, that's crazy. Holy shit, that's an amazing matchup. I want to see E-Ness versus Pass too. I hope they can do that in the bunker someday, man. E-Ness versus Pass. If you're listening and you think it's a good idea, tweet those motherfuckers and make it happen. You guys don't know how many battles have been my idea too. I do shit on the secret, behind the scenes shit. I'm a very good matchmaker.
So, you know, outside of battling, we'll just wrap up. You're doing a podcast, or you're starting one?
Yeah, man. I've been starting a podcast for, the last maybe almost like 6 months, 4 months now, just looking into everything. I'm the type of guy who cares about my craft more than anything, so it's not like I have all the equipment. I could have did it in one fucking day if I wanted to, you know what I mean? But I want it to look great before I do it. So I've been practicing and building the setup and practicing with my team, like, you know, set up and take down and all the technical shit that we have to learn. I have to learn all this shit about cameras and, you know, cards and video settings and lighting and just all these various things I've been learning, just knee deep learning this shit hard, you know. And we're finally at a point where we're ready to begin shooting the real episodes because we have the look that we want, you know, really solid 3-camera angle, really nice DSLR cameras with like really dope lenses and shit. Like, it looks nice, like it looks beautiful. So,
and like when it's online, how do people find it? What do they search?
They're going to be able to find it. The podcast is called Outside the Box with Okwerdz. It's on youtube.com/Okwerdz for the video, or it'll be searchable on iTunes for just the audio versions. And, now, we're at the point where we've dropped the cover art. You know what I mean? We're real close. Like, it's happening. Like, it's so crazy to watch this thing. Like,
by the time this episode comes out, it might be out.
I don't know about that.
No?
Maybe. We still have a little work to do, but it's been a real crazy thing. Now we're finally getting, really dope, like, animators, people on, like, Avocado's type skill set, making us, like, intros, like a real TV intro for the, for the show and everything. It's really becoming real. And I finally, I'm coming to LA next month. We're going to film like 4 or 5 episodes, the first 4 or 5 episodes. And we've just been locking in some crazy people, man. It's not battle rap related. It's just everybody, man. It's musicians, it's actors, it's athletes, it's everybody, professional wrestlers, like just masters of their craft that, have a following. And you're going to be shocked by some of the people we get, man. Like this week, I've been talking to Corey Feldman. I've been talking to like various other like big name people that I never thought I would be able to reach, man. So it's going to be real crazy. We got a presidential candidate locked in as well. It's real serious, dude.
Jill Stein.
Yeah, Jill Stein. We got Jill Stein going to come through. Well, next time she's in California, she's going to be there.
With Wheezy.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts, man. I got to meet her recently. She's so awesome, man. She's got my vote all day. If you're from America, you listen to this, man, you need to vote for Jill Stein all day, man.
Right. And battle rap people will be on the show as well, or?
Not too many.
No.
There's maybe a small.
Not like a Dirtbag Dan kind of.
No. I want it to be very different from everybody. You know what I mean? I don't, as far as I know, Dan is the first person from battle rap to really have a podcast like that. And I really didn't want to be compared to him. I wanted our shit to just be different. You know what I mean? It's just not even the same thing. I'm not going to be like, we may have a handful. There's certain people on the level that we would allow. Like I would have Diz or Arsonal or Hollow. You know what I mean? I would allow them, obviously. But for the most part, it's going to be people like, I want every guest to be like, what the fuck? How did you get this person? You know what I mean? Like, we're aiming extremely high. Like, I have a very I know a lot of people in my own personal circle, but who are going to be locked in, who are big people, but I've been really reaching outside of who I know and sending like really professional emails to like certain people's management contacts, stuff like that. And we've been locking in some really cool shit. So it's coming.
Excellent. And you do Twitch as well?
Yeah. We started a game stream this year, and we've been working with Twitch actually on hopefully some battle rap content in the future that's going to be streamed on the front page of Twitch. So
wow,
we got some battle stuff in the works, plus our own personal streams that are going to be, we're going to be pushing and possibly on the front page and stuff like that as well. A lot of big stuff in the works in the video game world as well. For right now, I'm just having fun with it. It's not really popping off for me hella huge right now. It's just fun to kick it with my fans. I'm having a great time, like talking to them the whole time and stuff. That's what it's really about. It's kind of brought back my love for video games. So I'm just playing around until we, really start doing the big shit over there.
Mm-hmm. What do you play?
Man, I'm mostly retro stuff, dude. Like I was a big gamer as a kid, man, as far as like NES, SNES, Genesis, arcade stuff. Like I got every emulator possible. So I got every game, dude. I got PS1, PS2. Like we could play a lot of shit, man. I'm just playing all my favorites. Like I was going to do this weekend, but it wasn't end up able to pan out. I think maybe next weekend or something, I may do something where I like promote it all week, and I may just like beat Resident Evil 2 or something live. I'm getting good at it. I could beat it in under like 2.5 hours.
Choice, man. Classic game. Shout out Raccoon City.
Hey, hell yeah, man. I could beat it in under 2.5 hours now, so I'm getting
holding it down for Leon.
Better than when I was a kid right now. It's crazy.
So we'll wrap up with a few quick questions. First one is, do you have a favourite Don't Flop battle?
Man, there's many. The first one that pops in my head, it's not like the classic. I really love that Enes and Bill Collector. That's the shit like right now that I'm watching from Don't Flop. Like, I'm so glad that y'all fucking been fucking with Enes, man, out in Don't Flop, man. It's crazy, dude. Enes has become like my favorite, dude. That's like of recent stuff, but like all the classic shit, all Oshea stuff, dude. I think Oshea versus Kruger was one of the funniest things ever, dude.
Man, yeah.
Just the whole thing about like the party, you know what I mean? Whose party you gonna come to or something like that. And he's just like, how did he say something about, you come to my party, there's birds and something, and he gets birds and DJs. You go to his party, it's and DK.
Yes.
It's crazy. Like all that type of shit. That's some of my favorite shit from Don't Flop. A lot of the first Americans coming over too, like the SoulCon shit is really dope. But you guys got a lot of classics out there, man. I've been, like I said, I've been fucking with the UK battle rap scene for a long time. So
no, man, you're welcome back anytime. I'm sure. Like
oh yeah, man. I don't know when I'm gonna be out there next. Depending on if some music shit pops up. I know I'm on Oshea's album coming out. He was talking about a release party that maybe they might bring me out there to perform or something. That's a possibility in the works. As far as that goes, any music opportunity, I'm down to come out there or host some battles or whatever. I think if I was to come back and do a battle, I think it'd only be right if my comeback battle was in America. Though I'd have to do it in either California or New York or something. So I probably wouldn't take a Don't Flop battle overseas for my comeback. But if I became like more active or something, it could be a possibility.
Do you have a favorite King of the Dot battle?
Oh my god, dude.
No, sorry.
Fucking everything Diz has done, really, dude. All the Diz's battles, I really like Dumbfounded and Conceited. Dumbfounded Kid Twist is crazy. There's a lot of shit, man. I love, dude, I actually really like Bender and Sketch Menace is really crazy. I like that battle. I like Bender, period. He's my favorite battle rapper from Canada. I think he's incredible, and he's a really good person too. He's a fucking class act human being. So
Yeah, he seems like a really good dude. I want to get him on the show, actually. But yeah, he's insanely...
He's on Facebook, man. He's easy to get at, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out. And he's, insanely good writer. Definitely one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I love Bender, man, especially when he's mad. Mad Bender. Woo. Out the way. That boy. I'm a big fan of Bender. When we were on the 2-on-2 battle tour with Diz, I got to spend a cool amount of time with Bender because they were out there too. Him and Lopesi did an incredible 2-on-2. Or no, excuse me, that was Lopesi and Osa. But Bender was out there battling Arkaic or some shit, I think he was. Yeah. So we got some downtime to kick it with them for a little bit as well when we were out there.
And URL?
My favorite URL battle, man. Maybe Hollow and Big T or some shit. But if we go back to smack days, man, I don't know, dude. Probably Party Artie and Mook, man.
Nice.
Mainly because of Party Artie, though. Just I'm such a huge Party Artie fan. It's such a shame that he's no longer here, man. Motherfucker's such a talent. I'm a huge Party Artie fan. He was one of the first smack battles I ever seen had Party Artie. I was just so blown away by him. Just the concept, like I said, of writing a battle was just crazy to me in general, and not freestyling. So, and how Party Artie was just clean. I wasn't a fan of Mook's earlier stuff, so I would watch it and be like, man, fuck this fool. I could beat this fool. But when I was watching him battle Party Artie, I heard Party Artie was like, yo, this fool's actually really nice, though. Like, this fool is crazy. You know what I mean? So, it was dope.
And last two questions. The first one being, do you have a favorite film?
My favorite film? Oh, my God, dude. I'm a big movie guy, but when it comes to my favorite films, dude, there really has to be two separate lists. Like, one is because I'm a Jackie Chan maniac fanatic. So all my favorite movies are Jackie Chan movies. But if we talking about real regular movies, I like Pulp Fiction a lot. Probably a lot of people say that.
Quite a few people have said it on the show actually.
Yeah, I really like Ghostbusters a lot. It's one of my all-time favorites. Probably like Jackie Chan stuff. Probably a bunch of shit you never heard of. Drunken Master 2, all that kind of shit is my favorite all-time shit.
No, good choice.
And I'm stoked because they're blessing the boy with an Oscar this year. So that's what's up.
Is that right?
Yeah, they Jackie Chan's such a badass. They invented an Oscar for him. It's this new lifetime achievement thing they're gonna start giving to people, and he's the first year of it or whatever.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I think maybe some other people are getting honored with it at the same time as him too. But I read some names. I don't really recognize any of them. But.
Yeah, because I guess you couldn't really nominate him for Best Actor, even though he is a great actor.
Yeah, he doesn't have a movie up for Best Picture or anything, but you got to give him something because he's too crazy to not give him something. You know what I mean?
He's amazing. And shout out Jackie Chan.
I met Jackie Chan 6 times, bro.
Yeah, is he a good guy?
He's great.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice guy. And finally, your favorite band or artist, musical band or artist, that is in no way hip-hop related.
It's easy. Michael Jackson. Even if it was hip-hop related, it's Michael Jackson, everything.
Okay.
Hands down, no hesitation, easy.
Every era?
Everything. Everything, music, everything, Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. He beats everything. As far as rap goes, my favorite rapper of all time is Ice Cube and Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z and Biggie and Coogee Rap and Slick Rick and E40 and Too Short and Tech Nine. Those are a lot of my favorites of all time. Guru from Gangstar, Sean Price, shit like that. That's a lot of my favorite rappers. But as far as other genres, I'm a huge fan of classic rock, man. I'm a big fan of the Eagles and the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix and all that kind of shit. Those are a lot of my favorite records as well. But I fuck with people probably don't. I guess this is an odd fact. I guess I like a lot of fucking soul music, a lot of R&B from the '70s. Is probably my third favorite genre of all time, man. Old Stevie Wonder, like Bill Withers or Al Green and stuff like that is some of the best. Just it makes you a better rapper by listening to it. I don't know how, but it does.
Yeah, man, it's some of the best stuff to sing along to ever.
It's the best music. It's the best music in history. I think those three genres are just crazy. You know what I mean? I like jazz too. I don't know enough about it to really like go into depth, but I really enjoy jazz and blues and shit as well. And I like various rock shit too. You know what I mean? I like Metallica, I like Nirvana, and stuff like that.
Yeah, no. So finally, I mean, how do people get at you? Twitter, Facebook, that sort of thing?
Yeah, man. It's basically, excuse me, it's basically either Okwerdz or Okwerdz 209 and everything. It's OKWERDZ. Twitter is Okwerdz. YouTube is Okwerdz. Vine is Okwerdz. Twitch is Okwerdz 209. Instagram Okwerdz 209. Facebook, Instagram 209 or Okwerdz 209. Excuse me. Okwerdz 209 or Okwerdz.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, man. This has been a great episode. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Thanks a lot.
That's the Okwerdz with the hard word. It's sarcastic slapstick. Rap sick, you know that's it. I'm on the show with my man No Kevy Kev. My brain got an engine, listen to the Chevy rev. I'm down with my boy No Can Do. I'm dirty as hell with no shampoo. Let's see, I'm a grown man do. I blow fire like Rodan do. I'm at home, man, I would choke slam you. Probably with your own hand. Ooh, I'm from Cali, man. I'm like Dirty Harry Callahan mixed with the effing Taliban. I got a head wrap and all, so you better step back and brawl. And homie, I will left jabs and gall. I'm fly as hell, got a jetpack and all. Better fresh Macintosh. Man, you better get jacking off. I don't know what that means. You a little drag queen covered in Vaseline. I'm half machine, you can't step to this. Man, I'm like hit you with a crescent kick. I'm playing Tekken 6, I'm in the future. That's where it go, it's not terrible. I'm drinking cherry coke and that's the way it is. When I rock the chorus, we got more for y'all. For now, here's the chorus. Oh, I'm strapping clean.